The IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt. Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Not yet. Do it today. Okay. At 1210 WPHT.
About what you need in order to get a raucous caucus like the one the Republicans are dealing with now, with the slimmest margin in maybe in American history, especially now in this period where you really are in the minority because you don't have the Senate, you don't have the White House. So Newt's saying this is what you have to do. Elon Musk and President Trump coming out and saying, I'm so glad the American people won by killing that 5,000-page bill. The problem is the government's going to shut down and shortly if they don't come up with an alternative. I don't know if it's possible, but Muldoon Gingrich says most importantly, the whole caucus has to vote together. That's you, Tom Massey, and others who like to do things your own way. That's you, Freedom Caucus.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WINNING for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WINNING. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNING for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WINNING.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Eagles QB Jalen Hurts leaving this afternoon's Commanders game midway through the first quarter with a concussion. Backup Kenny Pickett replacing him. Hurts hadn't missed a game all season. And the final push to wrap up holiday shopping.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
I lived alone and was having problems with my landlord. He's a creep. One night I'm watching TV and I hear my landlord letting himself in. Hey, get out. You can't keep coming in.
I'm just here to fix your fridge and spend some time together.
Get out. I'm reporting you.
Don't make a federal case of it.
A federal case? Sexual harassment in housing is against federal law. If you are harassed, file a complaint with HUD. Go to HUD.gov/fair housing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
It's no secret, the clock is ticking. Grab your last-minute gift set. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. Toys by Barbie, Disney, Mattel, Hot Wheels, Nerf, Sonic, Fisher-Price, and more, starting at just $3.99. Small electronics you can easily wrap for $4.99. Box gift sets you can throw a bow on, start at just $5.99. Box cozy PJs start at $9.99. Don't wait, time is running out. Get to Foreman Mills now.
Hi, it's John Ashow, the car czar from Colonial Hyundai. I've got great news to wrap up your year in style. It's our Naughty and Nice sales event this December, and no matter what list you're on, we've got a gift for you. Been a little naughty and having credit issues? No worries, we can get you approved today, even if the Grinch told you no. Owe too much on your current vehicle? We'll turn that frown upside down and have you feeling nice again this holiday season with the highest trade-in values in the region. Driving a sled? I'll give you $6,500 for your trade, guaranteed, no matter the condition. Colonial Hyundai has over 200 vehicles to choose from. Whether it's the sporty Elantra, versatile Tucson, or the groundbreaking Ioniq 5, we've got the perfect car for you, and only Colonial is offering 0% financing or up to $8,000 in holiday savings. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, and Hyundai Assurance. But hurry in, this event lasts only through New Year's Day. Shop us online 24/7 at colonialhyundai.com. Colonial Hyundai, the faster, easier, better way to buy a Hyundai.
Offers cannot be combined. See store for full details. 0% on new 2024 Ioniq 5 on credit approval through HMFUSA. Offer ends 1/1/25.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney. On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Spirits did it all in one night, Dan.
Are you talking to me?
Is there anyone else here named Dan?
I didn't know if you were jumping right into it or what we were doing. So
I know we've been off for a few weeks, but geez.
Now my headphones are broken. No.
Yours too?
Yeah. They've been broken for the past year.
Yeah, I have to ask Santa. I need a new pair too.
Cool.
My left ear muff is falling off. Is it a muff? Or is it a phone?
Oh no, my jack.
Because they're headphones, plural.
No,
so I guess
my actual jack is messed up, so I have to wiggle it to get out of both ears, or else it comes out of one. You know what I mean? It's not mono, or it's mono, not stereo.
Sounds like something you should get checked out by a doctor.
Probably should. That's why probably Della yells at me because I don't listen to that.
Merry Christmas, boys and girls, and welcome to the very Merry Christmas edition of the Matt Rooney Show, coming to you live from the chilly banks of the glorious Schuylkill River in the city of not-so-brotherly love, where bullets often outnumber goodwill. But we're in a holly jolly mood tonight, aren't we, Daniel? Because we're just happy to be here.
Ho, ho, ho.
That was a little wimbalicious. You could do better than that.
Give it time. We just started.
Ho, ho, ho!
There you go. You did it better than me.
See, there you go. That's why I'm the host, ladies and gentlemen. 855-839-1210. Those are our digits if you want to call in and add a little bit of cheer to our Christmas concoction here on the air this evening. I know you've missed us. I've been very busy off air lately. I have to be honest with you. All good stuff. I don't want anyone to worry about me. Other than the fact that I've put on about 10 pounds, and this ugly Christmas sweater ain't fitting as well as it was this time last year.
Honestly, anymore, you could be Santa. You gain any more weight, you could be Santa.
You know why I couldn't?
Why?
Setting your fat joke, your fat shaming aside. Santa had a jiggly bowl of jelly, right? I have that like hard fat that's packed around your organs. So if you punch me right now in the stomach, it would break your hand, but that's not good.
You punch me right now in the stomach, I would feel it, and I would probably sling across the other studios.
You would. You would comically fly across the Odyssey studios.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
My kid's Elf on the Shelf has more girth and substance than you do.
Correct.
And, of course, when I refer to girth and substance, I'm referring to Dan's physical dimensions. Substantively, he's a very deep individual. Bella wouldn't be interested in him otherwise.
Yeah, she says when I'm on my motorcycle that I will, in the wind, that I'll fly off like a McDonald's napkin. If I go any faster, I'm just going to fly off like a little McDonald's napkin down the street.
The beautiful thing about that is it works on multiple levels because the McDonald's napkin is, and listen, our glorious returning commander-in-chief is a big fan of McDonald's. I'm a proponent of McDonald's breakfast. Just take a look at me. Don't need me to convince you. Very flimsy napkins. The flimsiest napkin, I would argue, in the entire fast food industry. You get almost, I think if you try to mop up a spill on your table, if you're at McDonald's with a McDonald's napkin, it actually somehow ends up wetter than it did before. That's how little there is to a McDonald's napkin. So, Bella, she's a funny lady.
You got to get the bounty, the quicker picker-upper. You know what I mean? You got to get the real thick, like I said, the quicker picker-upper.
It's the quicker picker-upper. And now that they come in those delightful little take whatever size you want, you can get the little square when you rip it off. You can get an entire rectangular sheet when you rip it off. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
Except the only thing that I won't cheap out on is toilet paper. You got to get 2-ply. You can't do none of this 1-ply. It's gonna rip. You're trying to wipe. And next thing you know.
Well, especially around the holidays, when you have a lot of people using your plumbing.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. No, it's just being a courteous host. I gave you the number already, but I'll do it again. 855-839-1210 if you want to call in and opine on anything we're going to talk about tonight. Full docket, as per usual here on the Matt Rooney Show. You can also listen and watch The New Old Fashioned Way over on YouTube. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT is where you will find me online and confirm that I am indeed as handsome as I sound. And tonight, if you are viewing over on the YouTube channel, you will see that I am wearing indeed an ugly sweater, as I mentioned a little bit ago. It is particularly hideous. And it's not fitting that well. I'm just throwing that out there because invariably someone in the comments is going to say something mean about how the fact that, hey, Matt, that's looking a little tight. So I'm just outing myself right now. Yes, I was even pulling on it earlier. You ever do that with an old shirt? Try to make it fit a little better?
Yeah.
But now it's just looking even more worse for the wear. So it is what it is. Dan is also wearing an ugly sweater. It was actually his idea tonight to be festive, which was shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's like the Grinch proposing a Christmas toast.
I'm not a Grinch.
It's completely out of character.
Down.
You're a little Grinch-like, pal. It's okay.
No.
Can we show off your sweater for anybody who hasn't seen it yet? Turn on that camera.
Yeah, it says Jolly to the bone and it lights up. I don't know if you can see it light up, but it lights up.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's like broken though. Half the lights are broken.
Yeah, it's a nice little metaphor for this program.
Bella hates it, but it's fine.
Bella hates it.
Yeah.
How's Bella doing? Has she been having a nice holiday season?
I hope.
Since we haven't had a chance to talk. I forgot what you look like. You said the same thing to me.
Yeah. Why you steal my joke?
It's not. That's not a novel joke, dude.
My joke. Why you stealing my joke?
Okay, let's pretend I didn't say it. Go ahead.
I forgot what you look like, Matt. Matthew, I forgot what you look like.
Delivery's just not as good.
Sorry, you make me do it twice, and it's just not as good.
So let's review where we've been. So this time of year, and I explained the last time we're here, we always go hard through the election because we talk about a lot of politics on this show. But the station also plays a lot of NFL football. So as I have joked in the past, even though this program's audience continues to evolve, we're not quite the NFL yet. Not quite. We're on our way. So we've had some of those preemptions, which are standard here on the station. And then yours truly took a vacation. Same weekend as Dan took a vacation. You took a trip out west, right?
I did.
I think it was for work.
It was not.
Oh, it wasn't for work. It was
just-
pleasure.
correct.
I didn't know you traveled for pleasure.
Yeah, I
Pleasure.
I had time to use, so
Okay.
I said to Bella, instead of sitting at home, why don't we just
Go do something.
go on a trip? And she was
Okay.
like, okay. So I booked the tickets and we went.
And where'd you go? Did you have fun?
Yeah, we went to California.
California.
Yeah, we did. She has family up there, so we just stayed with them.
California.
Yeah,
California.
it was a good time.
You ever watch The OC?
Nope.
You were like 5 years old.
Probably.
When that show was on. That's more of an older millennial thing. So, well, that's good, man. I'm glad you got out and did something. Did you get tan at all? Did you
No.
gain any?
No,
No.
It wasn't as hot as you think it would be.
Well, which part of the state?
So we flew
It's
in.
it's a big old state.
We flew into San Jose and we stayed in San Francisco until Wednesday.
Okay.
And then we drove down to Los Angeles and stayed the rest of our trip in Los Angeles.
LA is a terrible city.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that
You're
out
telling
there.
me, yeah, it's not. It's real dirty.
It's terrible.
I mean, it's really cool to see, and I'm glad I got to be there, and I'm glad I got
Yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
Same with Hollywood. It's just a terrible, dirty
It's
city.
just dumpy. Like
So
no-
is Venice. Venice Beach is also very trashy.
Yeah, that part of California, it's very hit or miss. The two worst cities I've ever been to are St. Louis and LA. Hands down.
Don't know anything about St. Louis, but LA,
Ooh,
yeah.
St. Louis is grim, man. There's this nice little area in the middle of St. Louis called the Hill where they've got some great Italian restaurants. You stray from the Hill, forget about it. The Arch is interesting. They put you in a little tiny ball if you want to shoot up into it, like one of those monkeys they sent into space during the early days of manned space flight, which is kind of terrifying. And I got a little touch of claustrophobia.
That means you're afraid of Santa Claus, isn't it?
Afraid of Santa Claus?
Yeah, claustrophobia. You're afraid of Santa Claus. It's a SpongeBob joke.
He's here all week, folks. Tip your waitress.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really would not recommend either city, even though I love Missouri. Missouri, it's a great state.
Although the coolest
St.
thing-
Louis itself, meh.
The coolest thing that I did in San Francisco was driving a Waymo. I don't know if you know anything about Waymo.
And what is a Waymo?
It is like an Uber, but is a fully autonomous car.
Ah.
There's no driver. It just picks you up. It navigates the city and it drops
Was that
you
your
off.
first time doing that?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was the coolest thing. It is probably the highlight of my whole trip, and I won't shut up about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
okay.
just like an Uber. Download the app. It says, here's what I want to pick up. And then it says, here's what I want to drop it off. It picks you up, navigates traffic, and watches out for obstacles and barriers. And
Did it
stops
freak you out at all?
No. Yeah, I was fine. Bella was a
You
little
loved
freaked
it.
out by it.
You
but
loved it.
I loved every minute of it. Yeah. It pays attention to what's going on the road, stops at stop signs, pays attention to traffic, all that kind of stuff. It's a great time. Highlight.
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have a documentary just you and Bella.
I have a couple videos.
Jetting around Cali.
I have a-
Yeah?
yeah.
Maybe you can show me during one of the breaks.
Yeah, maybe.
I would love to see that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's if you're a good boy.
All right. Well, don't let me pull your gangly leg. Well, I had a nice trip too. For those of you who don't know, I know I look like crap, but I'm only 40. I just turned 40. Happy birthday to me just a few weeks ago. So my wife said to me, "Do you want to party or do you want to take a trip?" And being slightly misanthropic, I said, "Let's go on a trip." So we went away with another couple we like. There's always those couples that you know, everybody only has maybe 1, 2, 3 of them in their lives where everyone gets along with everybody because maybe your spouse is really good friends with someone, but the husband's a puke or vice versa. This couple, we love them. They're great people. So we went away with them. We took a cruise. I'd never been on a cruise before. I did not get seasick. And it was a nice time. It was a nice time. I really enjoyed it. I might do it again. Gambled, lost a little bit of money, but that's okay. Still can afford Christmas presents. They had an old-fashioned bar, which was really nice. So, yeah, all in all, a positive experience. So I'm back. I'm older, probably with a little bit more liver damage, and I'm ready for a full program tonight. And it's going to be a busy year ahead as we conclude 2024. I want to give you a little bit of a programming update as to where we are. So we've got the program tonight, right? What is today? The 22nd, Daniel?
Correct.
December 22nd, 3 days till Christmas.
3 more sleeps.
A few more sleeps till Christmas.
3 more sleeps.
I don't know why you turned into an effeminate mouse when you said that.
That's because every time
I mean, I'm fine with the choice, but
maybe this is sexist of me, but like anytime I hear someone say 3 more sleeps, it's always a girl. So anytime I say X and X many sleeps, I feel like I have to 3 more sleeps. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's just me. I guess
but it's funny, but
I guess I'm just the a-hole in this situation.
Well, that's also been abundantly clear for a long time.
I guess so.
So we've got the show tonight, and this is the last Matt Rooney show of 2024. We will be back in 2025. I believe our first show, Dan and I were just trying to figure it out by looking at a calendar. I think it's the 5th. The 5th of January is our first show.
5th or 11th.
The 5th of the 11th. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th.
One of them.
But don't freak out if you're thinking to yourself, and I can understand if this is where you are right now. Matt, you were gone for a few weeks. We had this great election season with you. You basically almost single-handedly turned the Delaware Valley red with the amazing information you and Daniel provide every Sunday night and encouragement and all of the great candidate interviews. Don't leave us. Well, I will be filling in for the great Rich Zioli on the Rich Zioli program, which airs here on 1210 WPHT every weekday, 3 to 7 p.m., on Friday the 27th and Monday the 30th. So if we don't get to something tonight to round out 2024, I will get to it either on the 27th or the 30th.
That's a back-to-back show.
It's essentially, right? We're going to do 4 hours, break for the weekend, and come back, and whatever I didn't get to, we'll bang it out. We'll bang it out on Monday. So very much looking forward to that. Also, we have the inauguration coming up. That is huge. Plenty of coverage of that. And we will also hopefully have some new ways for you to listen to the Matt Rooney Show in the new year. That's a little tease. You can do your voice on that one, Dan, because I think tease is a word that you can kind of use that voice for.
Tease.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, little tease there.
Little tease.
Little tease there. We may have some programming news in 2025. So plenty to look forward to. But let's deal with tonight first, because we got plenty on the docket, as I said. 855-839-1210. That's the number here at the station. I am Matt Rooney. This is the Matt Rooney Show. Quick timeout. Back in a second.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at St. Albert the Great Church on Welsh Road in Huntington Valley, Saturday, January 11th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
In Virginia Beach, our locals live the life every day. The art of living the life starts by connecting with what matters most: happiness. When you visit, you will realize that happiness is a real place and that it is here in Virginia Beach.
It's no secret, the clock is ticking. Grab your last-minute gift set. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. Toys by Barbie, Disney, Mattel, Hot Wheels, Nerf, Sonic, Fisher-Price, and more, starting at just $3.99. Small electronics you can easily wrap for $4.99. Box gift sets you can throw a bow on, start at just $5.99. Box cozy PJs start at $9.99. Don't wait, time is running out. Get to Foreman Mills now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
And I suspect Dan looked at the show sheet, and that's why he's playing this. Wham's Last Christmas is still, going on 40 years now, the number one Christmas song on the charts.
I actually didn't
in the United Kingdom.
I actually didn't look at it. But
That was an old coinky dink.
It was a quinky dink, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I also like this version, so.
Still topping the UK charts all these years later.
So, just like last year, let me explain myself.
Just like last year.
We're not going to do typical popular Christmas songs because you can go down the street and turn the dial to B101. You can get it. So here, we're going to do obscure versions of Christmas songs you've probably never heard of or you like, but it's not mainstream like
right.
this one.
Because popular implies that people like it.
Correct.
So God forgive us. And God forbid that we give people what they actually want to hear.
Look, if they want to go and listen to the real version of Last Christmas and All I Want for Christmas Is You, they can go to B101.
Right.
That's what they can do.
Quick hop down the hallway.
They're not going to get that here. They're going to get my kind of music that I would listen to, that I would jam out in my car. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Just want to explain myself.
No, I think it's important people know the rules.
Did it last year, doing it this year. It's obscure.
And I know my name is in the title of the show, right? I'm Matt Rooney. This is the Matt Rooney Show. But if you're newer to the program, you need to understand that I have no control over the music. Dan is a small mustachioed tyrant, and he controls the board. He controls the music. He whines violently if I try to
whine.
Well, we are lucky that we're getting Christmas music at all. The first Christmas we did a program together, you didn't want to play Christmas music.
You wanted me to start it way earlier than I wanted to start it. And now that we are...
Right, I was trying to get into it like Black Friday.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. And now that we are 3 more sleeps until Christmas, it's suitable. It's fine.
Now it's acceptable.
Now it's fine.
Okay. So then be the rules, folks. 855-839-1210. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT, where you can not only watch, but you can also participate in the chat. I see my boy Steve from Washington Township. Nice sweaters, guys. Rocking the ugly sweaters tonight. Mine being ill-fitting. Dan's is kind of cute, even though it's broken. Half broken. Some of the lights aren't working. I got to get a blinking one for next year. Gmail, Rooney looks muy macho with facial hair like an angry MMA fighter. That's kind of a compliment. I'm feeling more like Rocky Balboa, Rocky V, though, right now, like kind of a broken down fighter. That's kind of how I'm riding into the holiday season. Ben, baby teen diapers back. He was on the last show, I think.
He was not on the last show, like 2 shows ago.
Was it 2 shows ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, baby teen diapers back.
Yeah.
He's your fault. You put him on the air.
I mean, we accept everyone.
Your eyes are flitting around nervously right now.
No, we accept everyone. We're very DEI inclusive here in the show.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. We're extremely tolerant, accepting. We take all types here on the Matt Rooney Show. Was that convincing?
I don't know. You might have to say it again more convincingly.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll work on that during the next break. Let's get down to business though, because we do have a lot to cover this evening, especially since we haven't been together for a couple weeks. Much to discuss, including the fact that everyone has their, well, I shouldn't say everyone, the usual suspects have their panties twisted over Donald Trump suggesting that he wants to retake the Panama Canal. So let me give you a little bit of context here. So the Panamanians, right, who took possession of the canal many years ago after the United States dug the darn thing, are now charging confiscatory fees for the usage of the canal by boats that pass through it. And it's been a hot topic in trade-interested circles, especially in recent years. And so Donald Trump has done what Donald Trump does, because Donald Trump is a negotiator, and Donald Trump suggested during a recent appearance that, hey, you know what, maybe we should have it returned to us. And I guess someone from Panama, you got to forgive me, I'm not up on Panamanian politics, reacted to that, which why you would react to that, I don't understand, and I'll elaborate on that in a second. Plenty of other people saying, oh, Donald Trump, there he goes again. He's already saying crazy things. He's not in office yet. He's already being bellicose and being reckless, and he's going to get us all killed. That That's the sort of criticism of Donald Trump that maybe would have landed 8 years ago. Not so much now, because what's happened in the interim? Joe Biden has brought us to the brink of World War III, something that Donald Trump never did. I remember distinctly having these conversations back in 2016 with family, with friends, with people that know that I'm into politics, so they want to discuss it with me. That they were genuinely afraid, and they wanted to know how I could vote for someone that was likely to get us all nuked. And I said at the time, well, listen, Donald Trump is an unknown entity at this point, all the way back then. But sometimes the unknown entities, sometimes the American leaders that keep our adversaries on their toes and guessing and wondering whether or not the United States is going to get heavy are the ones that end up doing the most to secure peace around the globe. The most notable example being Ronald Reagan. During my vacation that I talked about in the first segment tonight, I finally got around to watching the Reagan movie. Fantastic, by the way. Definitely take it in over your holiday break if you get one, if you haven't already. And one of the things that was emphasized in the movie, one of the themes, is that Ronald Reagan's unpredictability, the sense that the Soviets thought that he was actually a cowboy, and who knows, maybe he actually would go to war with them if pushed too far or too much or in the wrong direction. It did quite a bit towards helping America win the Cold War. So Donald Trump, in many ways, even though he maybe doesn't always turn a phrase quite as eloquently as the great communicator, as the Gipper, he has a similar effect on world leaders. And in this particular instance, I think that you might expect the left would learn something about Donald Trump at this point. You might think that the never-Trumpers would have wrapped their mind around the fact that you can't take this man literally. You have to take him seriously, and there's a key difference there. But they haven't. Do they really think that Donald Trump plans on invading and seizing the Panama Canal by force? There's no reason to think that, right? Donald Trump is still the New York real estate tycoon at heart, and he knows that if you want to achieve a particular result, then you need to, from the beginning, shape the debate, shape the negotiation on your terms, not your adversary's terms across the table. So he has an interest in doing something about these fees. That's why you're hearing what you're hearing from our president-elect. But again, the criticism you're hearing of Donald Trump from some quarters today about his Panama Canal comments are made all the more crazy by the fact that the same individuals levying that criticism are the same ones that have ignored for years Joe Biden's creeping dementia, his feeble leadership of our nation, and the fact that he's brought us to a point where one misdirected missile, one unfortunate encounter between two aircraft in bad visibility conditions over Ukraine or near the border with Poland, one false move or wrongly calculated move on behalf of Russia or any member of the NATO nations could bring us to the doorstep of World War III. Not hyperbole. That's where we're at tonight. And yet they want to, as I said, get all twisted over the fact that Donald Trump is making some tough statements about the Panama Canal. It's just the only consolation we have now with the benefit of being on the other side of election 2024. I think we can now have some confidence that our fellow citizens ain't falling for it this time around. They understand Donald Trump. A majority of Americans are comfortable with Donald Trump's style of leadership. In fact, I'll go a step further. They missed it. They missed it. They want to have some leadership in this nation because we are experiencing the consequences of having an absence of leadership in this country. And what's the Democrat alternative as we come out the other side of this continuing resolution kerfuffle down in D.C. over the last week? They have no talking points that are actionable, that they can weaponize to accomplish anything to meet their own political ends. They failed miserably in defeating Donald Trump, despite having the entire power of the deep state and the entertainment industry and a weaponized legal system at their disposal. And so now their plan is to say that Elon Musk is in charge of the government, and that's something you should be afraid of. I mean, folks, we've had a guy in diapers and a woman who can barely put two sentences together.
Daddy owes you.
Yeah, that's right, Daddy. In charge of our country, at least to the best of our knowledge, over the course of the past 4 years. And everything has gone to seed. And we're supposed to be terrified at the prospect of a guy who is renowned as the genius, inventor, and visionary of our time, maybe exerting significant influence over the Trump administration. About time we have some people that aren't completely idiots and completely idiotic involved in the highest circles of power in this country. I mean, don't you want the best and the brightest? Don't you want to have someone that's actually accomplished something outside of government, maybe informing us about what government is doing wrong and could do better? And Donald Trump kind of made that point during his appearance at Charlie Kirk's conference out west. I think they're in Arizona for that, Nevada. Again, it's somewhere out west. I forget where. But Donald Trump was out there and he made a joke.
Phoenix.
Where was it?
It's Phoenix.
It was Phoenix? Okay, so he was out in Arizona. And Donald Trump made a joke about all of the criticism from the left that Elon Musk is somehow in charge of his administration or has taken over the U.S. government or whatever ridiculous thing they're hyperventilating about. But he also said something in there that I think you need to hear because it's very important. Listen to this.
This is cut two.
You're going to ask me to actually look at my sheet that I gave you? Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Alive, so we want to thank him. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe, you know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. But the fake news knows that. No, he's a great guy, and we want to have him. Everybody, so many people are in this audience that have helped.
So many great people in this audience have helped. We want him. We want him involved. Donald Trump has made a success of his life, his professional career before entering politics, now his career in politics, by surrounding himself with people who, in many cases, he acknowledges are maybe smarter than he is. And Elon Trump is a verified genius, and I can't wait to see what he and your boy Dan Vivek Ramaswamy do with Doge. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. And even some people you wouldn't expect feel the same way about giving Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and this whole administration a shot. You know as well as I do that David Brooks ain't no Trump fan. But the, at least in name-only conservative commentator, made an appearance on one of the mainstream shows over the course of the weekend and said, listen, regardless of how you feel about the Musk-Trump romance, we owe it to ourselves to give it a shot. This is cut 7.
This bromance is going to end in tears. I give it 30 days, maybe 60 days, something like that. We're all going to be crying as they part ways and they start taking shots at each other. I don't expect Elon Musk to be around for very long, but presidents get to have advisors. And if Elon Musk can do some good, then maybe he can do some good. I mean, one of the things that even Democrats are saying is that they missed the chance when they were in office to reform government. If you're trying to improve the Medicare, if you're trying to improve the delivery of veteran services, there are government rules and regulations that impinge and block you from actually improving the way government works. And sensible Democrats know that, and they should have done something about it. If Elon Musk, some billionaire, walks in and can reform some of the rules that are impinging the way the government works, all to it. I don't expect that to happen. But what I expect is that Donald Trump has some right instincts about immigration, about reforming government, but he does not know anything about the reality of governance. And so my posture right now is, let's let him try. He's got some instincts that are terrible and some instincts that are not terrible. And let's let him try. But changing government is just phenomenally hard. And you have to really know what you're doing, and neither Donald Trump nor Elon Musk really knows how the game's played.
Look. There's a lot in there I don't agree with, obviously, including that I have no idea what a sensible Democrat might be in 2024. It's been a long time since I've seen one. But even a Trump hater like David Brooks is willing to say what I think most Americans believe, which is that let's give these guys a shot. The individuals that are complaining about Elon Musk, that are in a tizzy over Donald Trump's comments about the Panama Canal, are the same folks that have shown no core competency to take this country in the direction it needs to go to be free and prosperous and safe. Trump can't do worse. We know he'll do better, but he can't do worse. And I think the American people understand that. And it's one of the reasons why Democrats are going to have to get a lot more creative, because the same old lines of attack, the same old narratives, they just ain't working anymore. You're listening to The Matt Rooney Show. Go to youtube.com/@1210WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It's the 12 days of savings at Spring Dance Hot Tubs. From December 12th through 24th, every day brings amazing deals. On the first day of savings, Spring Dance gave to me up to $5,000 off a Hot Spring Grandee. On the second day of savings, Spring Dance gave to me new auto ship for all water care with no shipping fee. On the third day of savings, Spring Dance gave to me savings up to $2,500 on our sauna floor model clear-out sale. The 12 days of savings only at Spring Dance Hot Tubs. Visit springdancehottubs.com for more deals.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Free speech lives here. Dom Giordano, weekdays noon till 3 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Welcome back to the Matt Rooney Show, Christmas edition, plugging along here in our numero uno. Hope you're all having a Feliz Navidad. Did I do that correctly? Latinx correspondent.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Yeah. That's always the problem with my Spanglish. I know a little, I know poco, but I don't do the pronunciation well.
So you got to go to school for it, buddy.
I did.
Clearly.
I took it for 4 years in high school, 2 years in college. Maybe I could find my way to an airport in Mexico City.
Probably get your money back.
You have to use it conversationally.
That's
the thing.
I can't.
Yeah, because you're not immersed in it.
Correct.
Unless you're immersed in it, you're never going to be good at it. So that is one thing I would like to do. I would like to immerse myself.
Yeah, I bet you know about immersion, don't you?
Well, that's filthy sounding. I thought this was a Christmas party.
I don't know what Christmas parties you go to, but I know. But I know my work one was just filled with a bunch of drunks, so that's fun.
Well, that's standard for a Christmas party.
Yeah, president.
It's a merry time of year. People cut loose.
Our president was drunk. Everyone was drinks were flowing. Bar was open. We were just
getting a little sauced.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, and for you, it only takes I
had to stop. I had
half a seltzer.
Well, I had to stop. I had 2 beers because I was driving Bella home, and then I ended up taking 3 of of our project managers home. So I had to stop after 2 because I'm like, I'm not going to do this.
Look at you being responsible.
Yeah, I had Belle in the car, so anytime that she's there, I have to pace myself.
Aw.
Yeah. Because
she'll beat you, or just because you care about her so much?
One, because I care, and 2, I know if I'm driving, she'll have a good time. So, because one of us has to drive, and more than likely it's me. So she'll always be the one to.
Chivalry's not dead, ladies.
That's what I'm saying.
Chivalry's not dead.
That's what I'm saying.
Go over to YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Feel free to rate our ugly sweaters. Dan's is better than mine, notwithstanding the fact that it's broken. But although mine has a sensory effect because these Christmas balls on here are fuzzy. And get your mind out of the gutter. No more Dan-style jokes, because I recognize how that sounded. But they're nice.
Yeah, that's right, Daddy.
Yeah.
That's what you said. That's your quote, not mine. That's what you said. Your quote, Matt Rooney, 2024. That's you. That's what you said.
No, it isn't.
Yes, you did.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Stop. All right. Stop this. You know what? You need a lesson in the true story of Christmas.
Okay.
That's what you need.
Is this another Thanksgiving story that you have?
No, I'm not going to read a story. I just wanted to tell you that someone in Times Square rented a bunch of billboards featuring Jesus to remind everyone of the true meaning of Christmas. Isn't that sweet? It's very nice. I'm sure the New York liberals were losing their minds over it.
New York has been in the news a lot recently.
Oh, that story out of New York today, did you see that one in the stack? Is absolutely horrendous. So this isn't very holly jolly. Our Christmas party around here is not going very well. Someone lit a woman on fire. That's what the authorities believe on the New York subway. Just don't go to the New York subway if you can help it. I know if you live there, you may not have much of a choice, but it's like the lowest layer of hell as of late because Democrats, in the aftermath of the Giuliani-Bloomberg years, have turned that city into something that is twisted and dark and ugly and reminiscent of the dark days of the 1970s before Giuliani came along and cleaned up the fish market and defeated the mafia and turned things around. But it's particularly grisly. What police believe is they believe a suspect who they've shared a picture of actually dropped a lit match on this individual while they were sleeping. And there's a video circulating on X and other social media channels of this person on fire, and mercifully they blurred much of it out. But these are the consequences of elections that we all have to live with. I hate to do the old finger wag for you all on 3 days from Christmas, but you vote for these people. This is what they turn your cities and the states into. Invariably, without exception. Right?
Well, if you do want to know a little up front about elected officials, meanwhile, that's happening in New York. Tim Walz is posting on Twitter or whatever, or Blue Sky or whatever the hell it's called, that he is making homemade caramel corn.
How folksy.
Yeah. And if you've read any of the comments, like I have, they're like, oh, this is what we could have had in the White House. I'm so upset. I'm crying all over again. Like, I thought I got over this, and I'm crying all over again. We could have had homemade caramel corn. You and Harris did such a good campaign.
Oh, the joy is gone.
That's what it is. Yep, they were gushing over Tim Walz because he was making homemade caramel corn.
Yeah, and you would hope that at some point some of these people would take a step back and say, am I this gullible that I'm not voting on the basis of who's going to keep us safe?
Oh, I'm voting on the basis you can make better homemade caramel corn. I don't know about you, but that's me.
Well, you are. Well, the best caramel corn belongs to Johnson's Popcorn down at the Jersey Shore.
I was gonna say
So I don't know what Tim Walz is cooking up, but I'm willing to plant that flag in the ground right now. So that's number one.
I'm willing to plant the flag that Kate May has the best caramel corn.
It's the caramel corn capital of the universe. Down the Jersey Shore.
Whatever that popcorn store is on Washington Street, they have the best caramel corn, hands down.
Well, Jersey has great corn, period.
So does Idaho.
Yeah? Spent a lot of time in Idaho?
Do you know anyone from Idaho?
I don't think I do.
Not a real state.
Maybe I do. No, it exists.
Not a real state. Anyway, continue with your story.
New listeners may not know, Dan's kind of a conspiracy theorist, doesn't believe in the moon landing and
Avril
all that
Lavigne's
stuff.
dead.
Yeah, and he also does not believe that Idaho is a real place.
It's not.
He recently gave up on his flat eartherism.
That's not.
Next, we have to work on convincing him that Idaho is real.
Wyoming? You from Wyoming?
I know people that have visited Jackson Hole. I've never been there.
Not real.
Well, where did the Cheneys come from? I mean, Liz might be going to jail if there's any justice, but from Wyoming.
Great. Go back to a non-existent state of despair.
Bella's now weighing in the chat saying, I have proof Matt said it. What is she referring to?
That's right, Daddy.
That's right, Daddy?
That's what you said. She has proof of it.
All right, Bella, look, members of Dan's family are only allowed to weigh in.
Are exempt.
They're only allowed to weigh in when they're making fun of Dan. I want to be clear about that. All right, we're getting completely diverted here. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I can tell you what.
The New York City story.
Right. So that was absolutely grisly. So order number one of the Trump administration has to be, even though I want to be clear, I have no idea whether this person is illegal, not illegal, or anything like that. This is a suspect in this particular criminal enterprise. One of the first orders of business has to be mass deportation and cracking down on these sanctuary jurisdictions, because the signal needs to be sent to places like New York City and Los Angeles and candidly, my home state of New Jersey, which has a big election coming up next year. Phil Murphy's term limited, so there's an open gubernatorial race, and also every member of the assembly is on the ballot. The message needs to be sent that the days of lawlessness are over. Will not be tolerated by President Trump, Vice President Vance, and their Justice Department. Has to be clear. Has to be beyond the realm of ambiguity so that we can stop this. I mean, no one should ride the New York City subway and live in fear of being set on fire if they doze off on the way home from work. It's horrifying. All right, let's pivot to something equally horrifying. Well, maybe not equally horrifying, but also horrifying, but maybe a little bit lighter. We were speaking just a moment ago about Democrats deciding, I think it's not a wise decision on their part to try to make an issue of Elon Musk's influence in the coming Republican administration, because I think most people, after what we currently have dealt with over the course of the past 4 years, are happy to have smart people involved. I don't think Elon Musk is the boogeyman that maybe their polling is telling them that he is. I mean, if you're Democrats, would you believe any of your polling at this point? But Elon took a really good shot at Rose DeLauro. Do you know who Rose DeLauro is, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's almost as freaky looking as you. She is this vulture-looking congresswoman from Connecticut with purple hair, which I'm just going to go out here on a limb at the risk of ticking off a lot of people. If you are a woman or a man of a certain age,
I'm sorry, did someone say boogeyman?
Well. What do we have here? Santa Claus? Oh, I'm really scared.
This is kind of Christmas-like. It's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Although I think The Nightmare Before Christmas is more of a Halloween movie.
It's both. You can argue both.
You can definitely argue both. That's just my personal opinion.
It's like Die Hard. Is it an action movie or a Christmas movie?
No, it's a Christmas movie.
Okay, so why isn't Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie?
I didn't say that it wasn't. I just said I thought it was more of a Halloween movie. I watch it at Halloween.
Okay.
I don't watch it at Christmas.
ABC or Freeform plays it for 25 Days of Christmas.
Oh, well, ABC is obviously the expert on all things culturally appropriate.
Yep. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Rose DeLauro is freakier than the boogeyman. And what I was starting to say, at the risk of ticking some people off, I think if you're a man or a woman of a certain age, you should not have a hair color that isn't naturally occurring.
No. Some people.
I figured we might disagree on this.
Some people can pull it off. She cannot. She has a bowl haircut, and it's purple, and it looks like a purple bowl, and it's not good. If it's light, it's fine. Bella's got purple hair. She changes her color all the time. She looks great.
But can I say something
Rose,
else?
no, she just should go back to whatever she was.
Bella's a young girl, and I don't mean that in an insulting way, Bella. I mean, you're not old, so it just doesn't look bad on you. She's like 70, this congresswoman.
Yeah,
It's like some tattoos look weird when it's on a 70-year-old, but maybe it looks okay on skin.
I don't.
That isn't ancient.
I don't mind color. I don't mind colored hair at all. But this Rose chick, no. No, she got
We
it.
can at least agree that it doesn't work for her.
Correct.
Yeah, and well, listen to this rant that she gave on the floor of the House. And in a day and age where we are increasingly subjected to unhinged behavior by people that are allegedly occupying a high office, I'm not sure how high or elevated it is. Well, sometimes hearing is believing. Listen to this one.
You have 2 rants. Again, you got to tee these up better.
Are you because there's 2 from Rose?
Yes.
Well, do the first one because that's the one about Elon.
Okay. All right.
They got scared because President Musk told them, President Musk said, don't do it. Don't do it. Shut the government down. Imagine. What does he know?
Probably more than she does.
Listen to that first part again, though.
You want to play it again?
Just the first part.
They got scared.
They got scared.
Because President Musk.
And you got it.
told them,
They got scared. And you've got to watch the video if you haven't, because again, she looks like a vulture with a purple bowl, as Dan said quite well, on her head. So you lose some of the effect if you're just listening. So Elon Musk, being an intelligent, good-humored individual that he is, and also a nerd, which I am, and Dan is also a nerd. Okay? I don't know if you self-identify.
Not a
as
political
Dan,
one.
But you're generally a nerd.
I would classify myself, yes.
Yeah, and Elon Musk pointed out that Congresswoman DeLauro looks exactly like Skakisis,
I don't know who that is.
who is a character in the cult classic Dark Crystal. Some of my fellow children of the 80s and the 90s will remember Dark Crystal. It's a 1982 film. It's got Muppets in it. It's kind of a fantasy sci-fi kind of thing. It's from the Jim Henson Frank Oz shop. There's a lot of Muppets in it. Fond memories from childhood. But Skakisis is this weird predatory bird / dragon that attempts to hoard resources and looks exactly, right down to the purple, like Rose DeLauro from the great state of Connecticut. I'm telling you, I'm actually gonna hold on. I'm gonna repost this on X right now. Have you seen this, Daniel?
We're in the middle of a show. You can't be reposting things on X.
What are you talking about?
We're in the middle of a show.
This is a show.
You can't wait 3 minutes?
No, this is a show where we deal in multimedia, and I can do 2 things at once. I can multitask. I could share this because I want our audience to know what I'm talking about.
You couldn't wait 3 minutes?
No, it cannot wait 3 minutes. Look, I just did it right now.
Oh my God!
Go look at it. Skakisis. Check it out. It's freaky. So it does underscore the point, and you made it a moment ago, Dan, when you said, well, what does she know? Who do you want running your country? Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk?
No, I want anarchy.
Well, I know you really want anarchy, but this is a binary choice I'm setting up for the audience. Do you want the names that I just gave you a moment ago, or do you want this weird purple bird from Connecticut? I don't think it's much of a choice. And don't think for a second, and this is how we'll round out this first hour, that the choice has already been decided. This is always the mistake that political pundits and those that absorb this stuff, as I do on a daily basis, you always commit the same error, assuming that because the election is won, the war is over. It is not. Right? The American people made the right decision in 2024, but there are still many battles ahead if we are going to save this country. And one of the biggest battles on the horizon is already underway in New Jersey, as I said, election 2025, the gubernatorial contest. A little bit more news since I was last on the air, Dan. I am co-hosting via my website, SaveJersey.com.
Oh, you in Save Jersey?
I do.
Okay.
I do. See, that's how I'm going to deal with your smart alecory. Is that the right way to say it? Smart alecory? Whatever. It's my show. I can make up words. I'm just going to respond to it earnestly and not meet your snark with snark. That's what my therapist and I talked about doing. So I am co-hosting via SaveJersey.com, the first Republican gubernatorial debate of 2025 in New Jersey. It's scheduled for February 4th at Rider University, but it is going to be broadcast online. I'm co-hosting along with the Rebovich Institute at Rider and also David Wildstein at the New Jersey Globe. So we'll share more information about all that once we get into the new year. But you're definitely going to want to put a little mark on your calendar for that one, because I'm not just a co-host, I'm also on the panel. So I'll be asking questions of the candidates. Jack Chitterelli, who was the nominee in 2021, Bill Badia, who is a radio host on another station in New Jersey, Ed the Trucker, who ducked our debate. Dan remembers that. But Ed is going to be participating in the debate we're going to be having on February 4th.
Is he running or no?
He's running for governor. And then John Bramnick, who has also been on this program before. I think everybody's been on this show except for Spadia. John Bramnick, state senator from North Jersey, and never Trumper, an avowed never Trumper, and the only one in the contest. He'll also be on the stage. So I'm very excited about that. So just more stuff to look forward to in the new year. I know no one, myself included, wants to rush the Christmas season, but there's just so much to be excited about.
I do.
In the coming year. You want to rush it?
Yeah, I'm not, how do you say? I'm not particularly fond of this holiday, especially the lead up to it. I think everyone is just stressed out for no reason at all, and I don't really like it.
Well, it's all about how you do it, though.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh, I'm stressed out here. I'm stressed out here. It's like Christmas coming up. I'm like, and then people are just disappointed with things, and I'm like, I don't really like it.
Can I ask
Christmas Day is fine. It's more of the lead up to Christmas than it is the actual Christmas Day.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Maybe. Depends how personal you want to get.
Are there any, I'm going to get personal, Dan. Are there any young children in your family right now? I know that you don't have any kids, at least any that you acknowledge.
I mean, my cousin has a kid, but in terms of immediate, I'm the youngest.
Do you see him for the holidays? Is he part of that? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say something that's definitely changed for me. I loved, obviously, Christmas as a kid. When you're a young adult and before the kids come along, I think it loses a little bit of the magic. But now that I have children and I have a ton of nephews and I have 2 nieces, seeing the holiday through their eyes. I know it's corny. I'm embarrassed at myself for saying it. Weirdo. But I know. But it takes on a whole new dimension, and it kind of revives the entire experience for them. Even the stupid elf on the shelf, man. I hated the concept of that. I have so much fun with it now. They are so excited to talk to that darn elf and to tell it how their day went. And when he does something funny, they're in love with it. It just it renews the whole thing.
I like doing the holiday things. Like I like seeing lights on my fashion. I like doing haunted attractions, but Christmas themes. Unfortunately, I missed it this year because they were the 2 days we were in California. But I like doing that stuff. But just the lead up to it, it's just I don't like winter in general. Everyone's just depressed in winter.
Well, you're also so slight. It's hard for you to bundle up sufficiently to not freeze.
Why does this all have to come back to my girlish figure?
Because that's part of the reason why I think you hate this weather. If you were over 200 pounds like me, I think you'd feel differently.
I don't like snow in general. Like the cold's fine. I can handle the cold. I don't like snow. That's the big issue.
So when you woke up the other day, you were in a cold sweat when you saw the snow coming down.
I was actually at work. So I was actually at the job when the snow was coming, and I said, "This sucks."
Yeah. No, I had a similar reaction because I was driving home from our law firm Christmas party, and I was coming up the Atlantic City Expressway.
Oh, I didn't know you were a lawyer. Cool.
Okay, you know what? This is a good time to go on break here. Maybe a permanent break. 855-839-1210. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. See you in a moment.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Got a roofing problem? Don't let it ruin your day.
Emmons Roofing and Siding offers professional roofing services, from repairs to complete lifetime warranted replacements.
And you can trust our experienced team to keep your home safe and secure. And we can even handle insurance claims for you.
Give us a call today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on the web at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
As America's first superhighway, the PA Turnpike has driven innovation by drilling tunnels through mountains, building bridges over valleys, and expanding lanes for 500,000 customers daily. Today, the PA Turnpike is driven to make your trip easier than ever. Open road tolling eliminates the stop and go of traditional tolling, increases safety, and reduces environmental impact. Plus, have even more confidence that you'll arrive on time. Visit paturnpike.com/ORT.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Eagles QB Jalen Hurts leaving this afternoon's Commanders game midway through the first quarter with a concussion. Backup Kenny Pickett replacing him. Hurts hadn't missed a game all season. And the final push to wrap up holiday shopping.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
You've got the whole season planned. Shopping list, the dinner parties, who's picking up who at the airport. When someone asks, why is the heat not coming on? First you panic. You fill up a swear jar. Then you remember that Horizon Services commercial about their experts being there the same day for any problems and how they'll install a new HVAC system with no payments and 0% interest until 2025. Oh, you stop panicking and realize your swear jar will cover the Horizon visit. Book today at horizonservices.com.
The NLS Braille and Audio Reading Download Service gives patrons with visual impairments or physical limitations the freedom to read their way.
Barge is this beautiful web-based program for searching for books and for the ability to download them.
It's a great way to have a book with you without carrying a book.
For information about the National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped Library of Congress, visit loc.gov/thatallmayread.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Edward James Olmos. Did you know that today 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic? That means many of the future doctors, engineers, and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net. Brought to you by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it, so can you.
For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC. WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney. On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Welcome back, old friends, new frenemies, and all who lie elsewhere in between on the spectrum that is life. I am Matt Rooney. This is the Matt Rooney Show. A very Merry Christmas to you all. A little early. 3 days left to go. You still have time to cram in some shopping if you're a procrastinator like me and still have some errands. But don't worry. Tonight we are going to give you all the information you need for the week ahead. by preparing you with a look back at what matters from the week gone by. And I'm very, very happy to be back with you all after being off for a few weeks. Don't worry, less interruptions planned in the new year, 2025, because we've got a lot to accomplish. Time to get down to business. Won a big battle, now we got to get to work. 855-839-1210. Those are our digits if you want to call in and participate. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT, where the gang is gathering and getting in on the action. Mango Mush is here. Tony, Newman Price, and Margaret, who says, Matt, I am so happy to have you back on tonight. Missed you the last couple of Sundays. Feeling is mutual. She also wants to know, and I think you answered her, Dan, when did Odyssey have the 1210 Christmas party?
We did it! Fun fact, we did it!
Yeah.
We never do.
We never do. It's not the nature of this business. Has there ever been a time where everybody's been in the building at the same time?
No.
Doesn't happen. It does not happen. If I see Dom Giordano or Nick Cale or Rich Zioli, it's because we're doing something. We're both broadcasting from the same event, right? Or I'm in the studio and we're passing in the hallway. We're busy people, unfortunately. I would like to get everybody together sometime. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, good luck getting Greg out. Good luck getting Greg out.
The Stalkerissimo?
Greg and Dawn. Good luck getting them out. So, it's possible. Very much possible.
Well, Greg also has a me problem. We both have young kids. That makes it tough.
Yeah.
I can only be out so many nights a week for that kind of stuff this time of year without getting divorced.
Well, you know best about divorce, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Having been a family law attorney for many years, it ain't worth it if you can avoid it. Trust me. So 855-839-1210, our number again, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please give us a like if you haven't already. Margaret says, what? Impossible. Greg Stalker should have it at his house. Oh, that's an even better idea.
I mean, he should. Greg's house has a pool boy. It has a beer fridge. It has everything that you could imagine. I made a whole list when I was in the mornings of things that Greg had that I didn't and how bougie he was.
Bougie list.
I probably still have the list somewhere. But yeah, Greg could have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring it up with
You'd be
him.
even better if everyone from the station just showed up at Greg's house. Caroling.
God.
Oh my God. He'd probably shoot us.
I don't think I don't know if Greg would get that far, but he'd be like, we're not.
No, he would treat us like a hostile drone buzzing his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Well, listen, we've got plenty more to cover tonight. 1 hour in. It's the nature of when you're not on for a couple weeks, right? There's plenty that we have to talk about that we haven't had a chance to, and then other things have percolated in the interim. So I want to get in on it, but if there's something that you want to talk about and you want to call or you want to mention it in the chat, we will take suggestions. We're going to be a little bit more allowing than we usually are for audience input because it's the holidays, right? It's a season of giving and sharing and all of that fluffy stuff. So we're gonna try to carry that spirit through the rest of tonight's program. Daniel is getting excited for the holidays.
Yeah.
He just told us in the last hour that he can't wait for it to be done, which is the opposite of the spirit we're trying to foster this evening.
I do like New Year's, though. New Year's Eve, specifically.
It's a horrible night.
It's not.
It's a terrible holiday.
Maybe for you, but I'm also 24, so you can only imagine what happens.
I never liked it, though.
When I was younger, I didn't really appreciate it, but now I'm like, I get to drink all night.
But how's that different when you're young and don't have kids from any other Saturday night?
I don't have kids on a Saturday night, so to me, it's just a typical Tuesday night. You know what I mean?
I guess, but let's run through all the ways in which New Year's Eve is terrible.
Yeah.
If you go out to dinner, prefix menus with overpriced food, and because they're going with a prefix menu, oftentimes they're mass cooking certain things, so it's not as well prepared as it usually is.
See, you're doing it wrong. That's why you don't go out on New Year's Eve. You got to go to you got to go to a friend's house. And have people bring stuff like a little potluck.
Fair
You know
enough.
what I mean?
Because I was going to add the next problem is if you go to a bar They all have ridiculous covers.
Yeah, no, you don't, no, don't do that.
Yeah, horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. So I agree that if you are going to do it, a small gathering, and by small, I mean not 100 people.
No, usually last New Year's Eve, it was like maybe 12 of us.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's different.
Yeah. So, like, it wasn't huge. I don't usually go to these huge New Year's Eve parties. I don't even know if I'm doing anything for New Year's this year. Probably just getting a case of, whatever fruity, delicious drink I can think of. And
Shirley Temples in a can or something like that.
God, I love Shirley Temples.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, my God. Shirley Temples are great.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, my God.
You're a horrendous person.
Yeah, you stay away from my Shirley Temples, buddy.
No worries, buddy. No worries.
Save some for me.
They're all you.
Oh, they're delicious.
I think I have a new nickname for you, Grenadine. My girl Grenadine over
It's
there.
actually pomegranate.
Really?
Yes, grenadine is pomegranate, not cherry.
Interesting.
Yep.
Never really thought about it, to be completely honest with you.
Probably never. Yeah. You're just like, I'm going to get a Shirley Temple. How often you do? And you're like, it's cherry. I'm like, no, it's actually pomegranate.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Dirty Shirley?
Wow.
That's my nickname in high school.
That's your nickname in high school? Yeah. It's also your nickname for
the station. It's Dirty Shirley coming down the hallway.
We actually do have a Christmas party, Margaret. We just don't invite Dan, and that's why he doesn't think there is one.
That's real nice.
Every year around this time, we circulate it. We have a text thread, and we say, shh, don't tell Dirty Shirley.
That's real nice.
That we're having a party.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Yeah, well, kind of a bully.
I mean, it doesn't help that I'm not here anyway during the week, so I don't know what the buzz is going around the office.
Well, that's true.
So.
You're a part-timer now.
Super part-timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like you.
Yes, well, that's also true. I got me a day job. Something we have to talk about tonight. More gaslighting. And it feels in a way strange to talk so much about Joe Biden because even though he doesn't leave office until January 20th at noon, it feels like he's been gone for a while because mentally and physically that is actually the case. Did you read that horrendous story the other day about how some of our men and women in the armed forces were brought back, their bodies after dying abroad in service of this nation, and their families were there to meet the coffins on the runway, and the ceremony was delayed for 2 or 3 hours because Biden was taking a nap? This is an actual thing that happened. Look, I don't love the idea of Kamala Harris being president for a few weeks any more than the rest of you, but goodness gracious, at least she can stay awake past 7:30. I mean, she may not make the right decisions, but at least there'll be someone there to answer the phone.
Hey, stupid question for you, because I really haven't been paying attention. Do you know what the whole deal was? Why they went back to the White House for like an emergency situation?
No. I don't think anything else ever got reported on that. There were some videos circulating.
Because I know Biden had to leave his Delaware vacation until after the New Year's to come back for the White House. And everyone's like, oh, my God, they're going to invoke the 25th Amendment. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. No.
I'm like, I don't think they would call an emergency for that, but okay.
No, they probably found another bag of Coke in the White House.
Yeah, they're going to sweep it under the rug. Be like, guys, it's sugar. It's that booger sugar.
Booger sugar.
It's that booger sugar.
Nose candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have a little nose candy.
Yeah. So, in any event, it feels strange to continue to talk about Joe Biden, but the thing that is really making me angry, and even though we won the election, it still boils my blood and sends my blood pressure to an unhealthy level. The media is still gaslighting us over this whole Biden in decline thing. It was obvious to you and to me and everyone else that's honest and has half of a brain, couple brain cells to rub together, that Joe Biden for the past couple to few years has been creeping towards senility. And then as we got into the early stages of the 2024 election cycle, sliding rapidly towards senility. And it was alarming, and it was concerning, and it was obvious that we did not have a commander-in-chief who would be able to function if needed, as we expect the commander-in-chief to do. But the media ignored it. In many cases, they poo-pooed those that were willing to question it or raise it, much the same as they have over the course of many years now. If you were to dare to say that COVID may have escaped from a lab instead of originating from someone eating a bat at a wet market.
China.
Yeah. right? I mean, remember when that would have got you banned on Facebook?
China.
Remember when you got banned on Facebook?
I did. For the crime of posting a photo of Hunter Biden in his underwear, holding all the balloons from up, and then it said Chinese spy balloon. I got like a month-long ban for that. I got my little, instead of like a teardrop, you get them when you like go to jail or like you do something in a gang.
You mean a teardrop when you kill someone?
When you kill somebody? Yeah, like I got a little like Facebook teardrop. That's what you get when you get banned.
Cool. So I have a tramp stamp and you have a Facebook teardrop. Awesome. That balances out. PEMDAS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we work well together.
Yep.
That's why there's synergy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or old married couple energy.
Is that what we got?
Maybe. That's what my mom tells me.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, you guys bicker like an old married couple. And I'm like, well, gay marriage is legal. So it does make sense.
That's what the marketing people tell me too here.
So you would be the bear and I would be, I don't know if I could say it on air, so I'm not going to. I have no idea if I could say that word on air.
We got to look into that.
I really don't know if I could say it. Probably, but I'm not going to chance it.
Siri, which homosexual terminology are we allowed to use on the air?
It starts with a T, ends with a K.
No, I know what you're talking about.
There actually is no rules. There's no, like, the FCC doesn't give you a binder of the things that you can't say on air. So the line is very, very thin because I have no idea. I know the major ones, but I don't know anything else. You think they teach that in school, but they don't.
I'm somewhat. Well, in New Jersey, they do. It's pretty much mandated now.
I went to school for it. They didn't even teach me that in class.
Yeah.
They just said, don't do this. I just said, okay.
But it's really driving me crazy. Because it's been clear to us for a long time that Joe Biden didn't know which end was up. And then he had to resign, obviously, from the ticket. And then all of a sudden it was okay after that debate, which led to his resignation or resulted in his resignation from the ticket. It was okay for the media to bring it up and act surprised. And originally they pointed the finger at the administration for hiding it from the American people. And now they're doubling down on that. There's this Wall Street Journal expose that everyone's talking about concerning how few cabinet meetings Joe Biden convened and how if you're a cabinet official, you had to pre-submit questions if you wanted to have them answered by the president. Incredible stuff. Now, we didn't know all the details because you and I aren't at the White House. We don't have these high-level contacts, at least not in a Democrat administration. So it's terrible to hear about, but I wouldn't have thought it would have been that hard for the media to find out about. In fact, I suspect many of them know. But they're continuing to behave as if, it was a deep, dark secret that Joe Biden didn't know what was going on. Kind of like, FDR in the days of World War II when his physical condition was worsening, but it wasn't reported on. But see, there's the rub, right? The media did know about it then, and I think they knew about it now. The worst of the worst, Chris Cillizza. You have to. This made me want to punch my screen.
What up, Cillizza?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, what up, Cillizza, indeed. Listen to this. Which cut is this, Dan? Since I'm supposed to know the
this is cut 9. However, I only took about a minute of it because you didn't tell me where you wanted it cut, and it was 10 minutes long.
I thought I did put that in there.
You did not. Also, thank you, Mangle Bush, for saying it in the chat. What the word is, thank you. But no, you did not put it in there. So I just cut
did he put it in the chat?
Yes.
The chat is not regulated. I probably shouldn't say this.
No, YouTube is not.
Yeah, there are certain standards there, obviously, but not FCC regulated.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what you wanted for this cut, so I just put the first minute.
Well, that's about right. But he worked at CNN. Now he's a social media freelancey kind of guy. I think he was at the Washington Post for a while, maybe Chris Cillizza as well. Well, now he's apologizing because, gosh darn it, he should have pushed back more and asked more questions about Joe Biden's mental decline and health decline. This is going to tick you off as much as it ticked me off, but I'm going to play it anyway. My apologies in advance.
As a reporter, I have a confession to make. I should have pushed harder earlier for more information about Joe Biden's mental and physical well-being and any signs of decline. So let me explain. Joe Biden was president from 2020 to 2024. I worked at CNN through 2022. During that time, the early part when I was at CNN, 2020 to 2022, Republicans would regularly ping me and say, why don't you ask more questions of Joe Biden and how he's doing? He's 76, 77, 78-year-old man. And I would sort of brush them off because what I would say is, well, there's no obvious evidence that he's declining. Yeah, he moves a little slower, he talks a little slower, but there's no evidence that he's declining. And the White House and the people around Joe Biden were absolutely adamant that suggesting anything, asking the question.
They were absolutely adamant. Absolutely adamant. So he, being a CNN employee back at the time, I think he said up until 2022, he did not ask more questions and push back because the White House was adamant. Is that journalism?
No. Say it with me now. No.
He's admitting that they don't do their job.
We knew this.
Well, right. So we know that they know, right, that Joe Biden was senile and not capable of functioning as commander-in-chief and had no business running for re-election, let alone continuing to serve in that particular position, President of the United States. But, can we finally be done in 2025? Maybe in this coming year it's going to happen, and maybe 2024 is the tipping point. Can we stop pretending that the media is actually populated by journalists? People like Chris Cillizza, and he just admitted it in this weird video that he posted. You heard a small clip of, like Dan said, it's 10 minutes. Go check it out. It only gets weirder. They've admitted that they're not journalists. We know they're not journalists, and maybe 2025 is the year that we can finally bring that mainstream. Elon Musk has said that X is now the center of true journalism in this country, and that's true to a large degree. I mean, that's where I get a lot of my news, because you have to assume that CNN and ABC and the mainstream newspapers, the legacy newspapers, are all lying to you. And Cillizza just admitted, essentially, that they have been lying to you. The White House said, don't worry about it, so they didn't worry about it. What kind of true enterprising journalist would function that way? I mean, God, I'm a lawyer. Quiet, Daniel, don't say anything.
I wasn't going to. I made the joke once.
When my adversary that I'm up against in a particular, litigation says, well, Matt, this is what my client has to say about this particular set of facts, I say, oh, yeah, sure. Let me not ask any questions. Let me not pursue any discovery. I'm just going to take your word for it. We have a word for that in my profession. It's called malpractice. That's what the media does every darn day. Because they're Democrat activists. They're leftist activists. Their goal has never been to get to the truth, whether it be Joe Biden's physical condition or mental condition or any other aspect of his administration, or whether it's more equally weighty issues. That's never been their goal. Their goal is to pursue an agenda. I only have one agenda on this program: to make sure that you're informed so you can make your own decisions. That's what we do here on the Matt Rooney Show. 855-839-1210. Back in a second.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It's no secret, the clock is ticking. Grab your last-minute gifts at Quick affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. Toys by Barbie, Disney, Mattel, Hot Wheels, Nerf, Sonic, Fisher-Price, and more, starting at just $3.99. Small electronics you can easily wrap for $4.99. Box gift sets you can throw a bow on, start at just $5.99. Box cozy PJs start at $9.99. Don't wait, time is running out. Get to Foreman Mills now.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
Me! That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee, if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true, baby. All I want for Christmas is you.
It's kind of sweet and gentle for you.
You think?
Didn't this song give you a toothache? Oh, there you go.
Take it back.
I withdraw my comment.
Yeah. Should have gave it a couple seconds.
I should have.
Come on now.
This is my first day on the job. Welcome back to the Matt Rooney Show, ladies and gents. Trucking along here on our Christmas special here on 1210 WPHT. Having a holly jolly time with producer Dan and the rest of the crew here at the station. Remember, over on YouTube.com /@1210WPHT, you can follow along where things are lively as per usual in the chat. We also have a guest coming up in the final hour of tonight's program, because remember, they're crazy enough to give us 3 hours every Sunday night here on Philadelphia's #1 conservative talk station. We're going to be joined by Fred Fleitz. You've seen him on Fox News. He's a contributor on Newsmax. He's actually a Lansdowne native. He's originally from PA, and he served as deputy assistant to President Trump and chief of staff of the National Security Council. So he's a man with plenty of credentials. I want to talk to him about what's going on with these drones, which have been all over my state, the Garden State, over the course of the past few weeks. I also want to get his take on what to expect from the new Trump administration on the national security front. We started out tonight talking about Panama and Ukraine and a very precarious, arguably the most precarious foreign policy situation since maybe the 1960s that any president has found himself facing, and it's all inherited by Donald Trump from Joe Biden, arguably the weakest president since the 19th century that this country's ever had to suffer. So we're looking forward to getting Fred's 2 cents coming up here in just about a half an hour. So stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere. In the interim, I was talking about Rose DeLauro earlier with her strange bird-like face and features and the purple hair and how much he looks like the villain from Dark Crystal. Kind of freaky. Had tip Elon Musk for coming up with that. I just want to underscore for you the stakes as if you didn't know them already, because we have this very tight majority in the House of Representatives. Democrats are down right now, but they're not defeated. They can easily come back. So we need to continue to remind you from time to time exactly how nuts these people are. And parental rights and gender politics, whether you like it or not, is going to loom large in 2025 because it's going to be an issue in New Jersey's elections. You probably missed it, but DeLauro went on an absolutely bizarre rant during the recent continuing resolution fracas, whatever you want to call it, down on Capitol Hill, over the importance of gender equity for crash test dummies. Yes, you heard that correctly. She's concerned that there's gender equity among mannequins that are thrown at 80 miles per hour into a concrete
I mean,
wall.
I don't know about you, but I think this is a great idea. Let's do it.
Oh, I figured.
It got
I
my
figured
money.
you'd be
Let's
down
do
for
it.
This is something you've been talking about long before she has.
Very passionate about it.
Yeah, he's got a webpage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this. I'm not making it up, I promise you.
Address the roadway safety crisis, including the critical funding that would accelerate the development. And this is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety and crash victims. This budget also builds upon and helps actualize.
Did you know that, Dan? Did you know that there is a gender gap and there's gender inequity in crash testing?
Nope.
Now, see, something that and maybe one of her colleagues called her out on this. I don't know if they did. They certainly should have. I'm assuming, because I'm going to try to impute some logic into this idiot's rantings, okay, that she might be suggesting that, well, because women are constructed a little bit differently than men, maybe there is a mechanism of accident that can impact women differently from men, right? Different bone structure, the top of our bodies is arranged a little bit different. Now, let's assume that's true. Then Rose DeLauro, someone who is a radical far-left Democrat, the party that is unable to define a woman, that believes that there are 57 different varieties of gender, is admitting, even if she doesn't realize it, that there are differences between men and women. That gender isn't something that you can just pick off of the back of a card. It's something that is innate to how you're born.
I mean,
how you're constructed.
My mom told me that I was picked from a vending machine. So if that's real, then you could pick what gender you want to be.
I prefer Bella's formulation. You are a McDonald's napkin.
No, that's not. Whatever.
That's what she said.
She said, I'm so thin that I'll fly off the back of a motorcycle like a McDonald's napkin. She's not saying that I am a McDonald's napkin.
I mean, isn't that kind of the same thing?
No, I was picked from a vending machine, so therefore you can pick your own gender. Logic. Them's the rules.
Them's the rules?
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings at Christmas, little guy.
You did. Big man.
I think I better start marketing Dan's on the shelf instead of elves on the shelf.
What is it going to be? Just a stick?
Yeah, it's just going to be a little stick with
a stick in a box.
Little stick with mini glasses. It says snarky things about your family's Christmas celebrating.
You want to put voice lines in there too? Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dan.
It's too early to listen to Christmas music, even though it's a week away.
No, a week's fine.
Shouldn't we be going to a haunted house?
Yes.
He mentioned it earlier, and I let it pass because I didn't want to deal with it at the moment. Dan is actually a aficionado of Christmas haunted houses.
I would say so. Not really.
That is weird.
Not really say so. I've been to one.
It's weird.
Yeah, I've been to one. I've been to a Christmas one. I've been to a Valentine's Day one. I've been to a St. Patrick's Day. I've been to a summer one, like halfway to Halloween.
Why would one do that?
They're fun. They're a great time. And it changes up. So, like, you go on Halloween, you see the normal thing, and then you go at Christmas time, but it's the same thing, but it's also Christmas themed, and it's really fun.
Does anybody ever jump out dressed like Rose DeLauro?
Can't say I have, but that might be a new one.
That would be horrifying.
Can't say they have, but I do see a couple John McClanes here and there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that at least makes sense.
Yeah. And then he.
But I can see Rose DeLauro popping out, waving her spindly fingers.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Me and my bald haircut. I don't know how he went Dracula, but John McClane comes out and he's like, you're going to die hard. And I said, Okay. All right. Okay.
I assume there was more to that.
No, that was it.
By the way, Bella's joined the chat and she says, you are a napkin.
Yeah, well.
He is a little napkin man. A little nappy napkin man.
That's not true.
Yeah, so sorry, bud. Let's take a break, play some ads, make some money, and we'll be back with more Matt Rooney Show in the shake of a leg.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
In Virginia Beach, our locals live the life every day. The art of living the life starts by connecting with what matters most. Happiness. When you visit, you will realize that happiness is a real place and that it is here in Virginia Beach.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. And in our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy. Throw your arms around the world at Christmas time. But say a prayer.
We need a 1210 live aid. Can anyone sing?
That's awful. No.
Christmas time.
Depends what song it is. I might be able to do it.
I mean, Henry has the hair.
Right.
Your window.
Do you want to start it?
I would love to.
All right.
The bitter thing of tears. Do you want some fun Christmas trivia?
Do you want some fun Christmas facts?
Well, I've got one as well tonight. That's
All right.
my present to you.
So you can go
So
first.
who goes first?
You go first. It's
Should I?
My treat.
All right, can I have music?
Well,
don't cut this off early, though.
I said, do you want to just go with this one? Or do you want, like, trivia music?
Christmas time. This is a great song.
So do you want to share it?
So are you suggesting we share the same music?
Well, no.
Like we only play the music once?
Well, no. The fact of the week music is for the fact of the week.
Right.
You said you wanted music. There's music playing.
I understand your confusion.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'll just drop it on you now then.
Okay.
I'm not like you. I don't need all of this self-aggrandizing production value.
It's radio, people.
So here's my fun fact. The classic Bing Crosby song, Do You Hear What I Hear?
Do you hear what I hear? The stars above.
The only way I could get that high is if I slam my foot in a door. It's the only way I could sing that high. And even then, I'm not sure. How do you do that?
You know.
Maybe gender is a spectrum. I don't know. It just wouldn't be possible.
I said you have to pick it.
Said the Dan to the other producers in the station.
Is here. Wrong song.
Oh, can I look? I usually do a list of Christmas. I didn't do it this year because I figured we got enough going on. But
what is your fact? Come on.
One of my least favorite songs is that song at the holidays, and I like the Peanuts.
Oh, I love the Peanuts.
I'm a Charles Schultz fan, but that's Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer. Every time I hear that song, I want to jump out of a window. It is so depressing.
Yeah, it's really slow.
It's just terrible.
You got to do the Linus and Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the rest of the music's great.
Yeah, it's a better one. I do like the Peanuts.
So, Do You Hear What I Hear? Yeah. Is actually a song that arose from the Cuban Missile Crisis as a plea for peace. Bet you didn't know that, did you? It's a Cold War song.
Oh my gosh, is it?
You know, you could feign a little bit of interest.
I was. No, it's not that I wasn't trying to be uninterested. I had to bring it up, you know?
Right. It was written in October 1962, which, again, neither you nor I were on the planet yet, but that is the year the planet was almost irradiated.
Yeah.
After the Soviets attempted to put tactical nuclear missiles in Cuba. And you don't need me to tell you what the Cuban Missile Crisis was. Well, maybe some people do.
So how did it become a Christmas song?
Well, it was written in October 1962 as a plea for peace. I mean, the story itself is obviously loosely based on the Nativity and the Gospel of Matthew. But the gentleman that wrote the song, his name was appropriately
Bing Crosby.
No,
beat you to it.
The lyrics were written by a guy appropriately named Noel Regney, and he wrote the lyrics for the song. During the days of the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he was inspired to write. Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? And pray for peace, people everywhere, after watching babies being paraded and promenaded around the sidewalks of New York City during these dark days. There were a lot of emotions. And he said at the time, our little song broke us up. You must realize there was a threat of war at the time. So just a little bit of intersection of Christmas history and U.S. history there that I thought that my fellow history nerds might be interested in, if you didn't know it already. Dan is now asleep, but I thought it was cool.
Again, that's one of those Christmas songs I'm like, too slow, turn it off.
Well, it's a childhood classic, though.
I'd rather listen to, Marilyn Manson or something.
Well, of course. Yes, you're deeply disturbed. Now, give me your fact of the week.
All right. Well,
I gave you the fact of the season. This is the fact of the week.
Fact of the season. All right. Christmas decorating. You into it? Yes, no? Or is that more of a Miss Jacqueline thing?
Oh, no. I love it. Blow up things on the lawn and Christmas trees and you name it.
Okay, so you're a weirdo.
Yes, like most of the country.
Right, okay.
I'm strange for wanting to put a Christmas tree up.
No, the blow-ups. We don't got to do that.
Kids love the blow-ups.
We don't got to do all that. Anyway, Christmas decorating. Get your fact check ready, because I know you're going to fact check this. So get it ready. This is updated November 2024.
Okay.
Christmas decorating sends nearly 15,000 people to the ER. The Consumer Product Safety Commission's most recent news release, again, this was in November, estimates that 14,700 people visit hospital emergency rooms each November and December from holiday-related decorating accidents, which is about 240 injuries per day, and the most common accidents involve falling, lacerations, and back strains.
100% believe that.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, your fact of the week is a little bit suspect. But tonight, don't even need to independently verify that.
Yeah. That
I went a little bit lighter this year in the decorating.
Yeah.
Because I've been so busy, and I mentioned earlier I took a trip. But ordinarily, I am one of those guys, Clark Griswold style, hanging on a ladder on the edge of my house.
Funny you mentioned Clark Griswold, because the opening sentence is, if you ever watched Clark Griswold decorate his house on Christmas Vacation, the stat likely doesn't shock you.
No, not at all. I've almost fallen off my ladder multiple times.
You ever electrocute yourself?
You folks don't realize how close you've come to not having a Matt Rooney show.
Did you ever electrocute yourself?
No, that I haven't done.
Okay.
That I haven't done. If you practice appropriate light management, you're taking care of your lights and you're making sure you're replacing the bulbs, you shouldn't have that issue. Now, the falling, sometimes you got to put a particular light fixture in a place that is hard to reach, or maybe, there's something on your roof you got to grab. That's a little easier to understand how that injury happened.
See, this is when you should just decorate. Just have the same decorations up all year, but the lights change, so you keep them up. So like Halloween decorations, put up lights, and you just switch them to Christmas colors, and then you switch them to St. Patty's colors, then you switch them to normal colors for the summer, or red, white, and blue. You know what I mean?
Well, some people do that with Christmas trees now.
Yeah.
They leave the Christmas tree up, but it's a seasonal tree. At Easter, it has eggs on
Well,
it. In the
I
summer,
know,
they put seashells on it.
I know some people, specifically Bella's family, they saran wrap their tree every year, and they just put it in the attic, and they take it down.
Okay.
So they don't have to decorate it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I see it. To me, it takes away some of the specialness of it to have the tree up all the time. The tree coming out is the commencement of the season.
I could...
Or unless, of course, you go and buy one. Now, I got a fake tree for the first time this year. That's another debate we could probably spend 3 hours on. I did it for a few reasons, one of which is because the price of Christmas trees has gotten insane.
Oh, there's treeflation.
Treeflation is out of control. I mean, I still remember going and getting a Christmas tree for $20 not all that long ago. Now, I'm not getting some kind of 9 or 10 footer. You go get a 7-foot Christmas tree. It's $130 with tip. It's insane. So I said, you know what? At that point, especially since the darn thing dies after 2.5 or 3 weeks, no matter how well you water it, I'm just going to get the fake tree. Because much like tomato sauce in a jar, that was something that 30, 40 years ago, you couldn't get it at the supermarket without it tasting like gross paste, right? Now you can get a decent tomato sauce in a jar. There's good ones. I like Classico, right? Christmas trees have come quite a long way. It used to look like a bunch of pipe cleaners glued to a stick. Now they look real if you get a good one. So you can get a good Christmas tree for $300, a fake one, and in 2 seasons you've broken even.
What are you talking about? My Christmas tree was like $20. It's fake.
Where'd you get a Christmas tree for $20?
Walmart. It's like a 6-foot tree.
No, you did not get a $20 6-foot tree at Walmart.
Yeah, it was around that. It was around. It's like 6 or 7 foot. It was like $20 or $30.
Impossible.
How's that impossible?
They don't sell them for that price. They don't exist.
Suit yourself, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna. You already yell. You yell at me when I try to look things up online.
No, go ahead.
Because I get distracted.
Go ahead.
I mean, Walmart's got some deals. There's no $20 6-foot tree.
Yeah,
You lie.
I don't think so.
Bella says it's not 6 feet.
It's 6 feet. It's 6 feet. She can check the box.
I think she can tell. Well, she says it's 5. And Bella, how much was it?
Look at this. Now, $40, 5 foot, Walmart.
All right, well, $40 is a little bit different.
There it is.
Still good. It's still
six
good
and a
value.
half, 6.5 pre-lit black Madison pine artificial Christmas tree, $31.20. See?
She says it's not 6 feet.
6-foot artificial Christmas tree, 800 tips. Holiday Christmas tree for indoor, outdoor decor, $25.99.
Daniel, Santa Claus hasn't come yet. So fibbing is not a way to get on the nice
I am
list.
reading it straight off the Walmart website. $20, a 6-foot Wesley pine.
That is a very pretentious sounding tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wesley Pine of the Wesley Pines.
4-foot pre-lit Indiana spruce, $30.
Now why is the Indiana spruce effeminate? I think
spruce.
Indiana's a very masculine state.
A Windham spruce.
Wesley Pine does sound like someone that belongs to a country club.
Green spruce. There you go. I list you the prices. But it's a smaller than me, and I'm little. Our new tree is... Dude, I don't know. We have so many trees at the damn apartment.
You have multiple trees?
No, we have 2. I had one at my old apartment that I put up, and then Bella's mom gave us a new one.
Okay.
That I don't know how big it is, but I know my last one was like 6 foot, and it was like $20.
Was it a trans Wesley Pine?
No, it was not, surprisingly. Sorry to break it to you.
Surprisingly not.
Yeah, sorry.
We talked earlier about Donald Trump is out in Arizona, Phoenix, for that conference, Charlie Kirk's conference that he has. I think it's called America Fest, AmFest. I think that's what they call it. I haven't been. Looks like it's a good time. But Donald Trump talked about more than Panama out in Phoenix. He also said that he is going to make it the official policy of the U.S. government that there are only going to be 2 genders. This is cut 6, numero 6.
With a stroke of my pen on day 1, we're going to stop the transgender lunacy. And I will sign executive orders to end child sexual mutilation, get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools and middle schools and high schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. And that will likewise be done on day 1. Should I do day 1, day 2, or day 3? How about day 1, right? Under the Trump administration, it will be the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
Should I do it day 1 or day 2 or day 3? People don't understand that he's being funny. I mean, you get it and I get it, and the people in the audience.
He's a dictator.
Right. He's a fascist. Fetterman pushed back against that, of all people. He gave an interview, I think, was it ABC's John Carl? I mean, look, I've talked about this before in the program.
It's ironic he's in his shorts and a sweatshirt.
Well, that drives me nuts, right? I know I'm sitting here in a Christmas sweater, so I maybe have no room to talk. But it still drives me crazy that he dresses like that in the United States Senate. I mean, there should be some, in an age where we don't have many standards, that's one standard that you would hope would remain, that you have some respect for the office you hold, and that's reflected in how you dress. But Fetterman continues to say moderate things, and some on our side continue to be fooled into thinking that somehow that is evidence that he's undergone a transformation. The guy's not an idiot. He recognizes that Pennsylvania is now purple and on the way to being red, and that his own reelection is in jeopardy if he continues to behave the way Bob Casey Jr. voted for many years. It ain't flying anymore in PA as it's currently politically constituted. So he's moderating, but this isn't real. We know what John Fetterman's record was like before he became the United States Senator. I mean, what do you think happened? Do you think he had a stroke and then all of a sudden he saw the light? It doesn't happen like that. Not at his age. Don't be ridiculous. But it's a barometer for where things are heading. So if you don't believe me, listen to Fetterman directly from the horse's mouth here in an interview with ABC.
And after you survived an assassination, you literally were shot in your head and had the presence of mind to respond, fight, fight, fight. I mean, that's a political talent. It's undeniable. And also, I never believed that it was about fascism. And for me, that made it difficult for
Kamala Harris said that he was a fascist.
Yeah, well, it's like that's her prerogative. I mean, but it's not a word that I would use because you put a lot of Democrats, especially in my state, that I know and I happen to love people that are going to vote for Trump, and they are not fascists. And also fascism, that's not a word that regular people, use. That, I think people are going to decide who is the candidate that's going to protect and project, my version of the American way of life. And that's what happened.
By the way, that last part is 100% correct. This was very much a values election. Economics, obviously, played a role. People's concerns about the competency of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden played a big role. But your vote is very often, at least in this day and age, a projection of your values. And the Democrat Party has become so far out of step with your average Main Street, Everytown USA American that they got destroyed this year in the Electoral College. Now, of course, again, back to my point about Fetterman being less than the genuine article, he endorsed Kamala Harris. He didn't raise many of these objections during the actual campaign. So wouldn't it have been nice during the campaign if John Fetterman used his high office and his platform to stand up and say to Kamala Harris, back before we knew what the result was, hey, listen, this whole fascist rhetoric, it's beneath you. It should be beneath our party. Knock it off. He didn't say it then because, again, he doesn't really care. Right? John Fetterman's out for John Fetterman, just like most politicians are out for themselves. But it doesn't make his analysis incorrect, and that's what's certainly worth noting. Trump is not a fascist. You and I have already known that. The smarter Democrats, or at least the Democrats that have to worry about surviving in purple and red states, they're realizing that whether or not he's a fascist or not, that line of attack ain't working. It ain't working for him. He can't run on that when it's time for John Fetterman to be back on the ballot. They got to find new issues. Can they? That's the billion-dollar question as we head into 2025, 2026, and beyond. 855-839-1210. That's our number here at the station. YouTube.com/@1210 WPHT. When we return, Fred Flights on drones and more here on the Matt Rooney Show.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
It's no secret, the clock is ticking. Grab your last-minute gifts at Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. Toys by Barbie, Disney, Mattel, Hot Wheels, Nerf, Sonic, Fisher-Price, and more, starting at just $3.99. Small electronics you can easily wrap for $4.99. Box gift sets you can throw a bow on, start at just $5.99. Box cozy PJs start at $9.99. Don't wait, time is running out. Get to Foreman Mills now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Roofing or siding issues? Don't wait. Call Emmons Roofing and Siding.
We provide comprehensive roofing and siding services with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction. And our warranties ensure peace of mind for you and your family.
Protect your home with the best warranties available in the industry.
Call Emmons at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
To inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
I am a mother.
I am an entrepreneur.
I am a singer. I am an artist. I'm a journalist. A businesswoman.
An educator.
A sister. A grandmother.
An advocate.
A leader.
I am a friend.
I am
one of more than a million people living with HIV in the U.S.
We are not alone.
Let's stop HIV together.
Get the facts. Get tested. Get involved. Go to www.actagainstaids.org for more information.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The weather outside may be frightful, but the conversation in this studio, if I may say so myself, has been delightful this evening. This is the Matt Rooney Show, and I am the aforementioned Matt Rooney, preparing for hour 3 of 3 tonight here on 1210 WPHT. Honored, privileged, positively tickled to have you joining us once again, especially since it's a busy time of year. You are wrapping, you are baking, you are preparing to deal with your drunk Aunt Susan, who is going to lecture you on why Donald Trump is a Nazi. It's a lot to deal with in the next few days. So maybe we're actually helping you out here. Maybe we're helping you decompress a little bit before the coming storm on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But however you're celebrating, we sincerely hope it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful memory for you and your family. 855-839-1210. That's our number here at the station. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. We're going to be joined momentarily by Fred Fleitz, former member of the Trump administration, a vice president at the America First Policy Institute, served the National Security Council. I have a question for him because I live in the Garden State and I want to know what's going on with these drones. I'm not saying he knows, but he's got as good insight as any, because were he still in the White House, if Donald Trump was still president, this would be precisely the kind of issue that he'd be analyzing for our glorious commander-in-chief. We'll also get Fred's take on what's to come in the new year as the Trump administration returns, new and improved, and tackles the laundry list of fires around the globe that Joe Biden is leaving for him. So you're not going to want to miss this. 855-839-1210. Again, our number over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Give us a like. Make sure you say hi over in the comments. Margarita is here. Suzla's Jeffy is here. Glad I'm getting to see so many of you before Christmas. And remember, I said it earlier in the program, even though this is the last Matt Rooney Show of 2024, I know, so sad, I will be filling in for the great Rich Zeoli during his Christmas break on Friday, the 27th of December, and also Monday, the 30th of December. So we'll have some more year-end analysis, fun hijinks, and maybe some hard news, too, because the news cycle never ends now, even over these holiday blackout periods that at least used to exist traditionally in the media sphere. We may even get Dan to join me for one of those fill-in shows. We're negotiating that right now. He drives a hard bargain. I'll have to get him some High Noons, a pack of candy cigarettes, maybe a Shirley Temple to sweeten the pot for him to get him to come in. We'll see if I can pull it off. But more news on that in just a little bit. Let's get to our guest. Is Fred on the line?
Yes.
Tremendous. Let's talk to Fred because we got some questions for Fred. I can't recall ever encountering an issue in the 2 decades that I've been involved in the news industry where you can get 30 answers to the same question, perhaps because no one actually does know the answer. I find that hard to believe, and we'll ask our guest about it. But this drone situation in New Jersey is frustrating as much as it's genuinely scary. The White House has been gaslighting the people of my home state, suggesting that it's all in our imaginations. And certainly I'm sure that some of these drone sightings are airplanes, right? Sometimes these things are a little hard to suss out when you're driving with your family on a dark road and you see something in the sky, right? Could be a helicopter, whatever. But if even 5% of these sightings are accurate and our government truly doesn't know what's going on, I mean, goodness gracious. How is losing control, how is losing sovereignty of the airspace over one of our nation's most densely populated states, a state that's home to some very secure installations and locations, not the least of which are President Trump's summer White House in Bedminster? How is that not a serious problem? So let's talk to an expert who, as I said, I don't think he knows the answer, but he's exactly the sort of person that were he still in the White House, as he was when President Trump was in office the first time around, he'd be the one trying to figure it out. So he knows how the national security establishment thinks, and that's why we need to rely upon his wisdom. Just so you know, Fred Fleitz, he's originally from Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. He's a son of the Delaware Valley. He currently serves as vice chair of the America's First Policy Institute, Center for American Security. You've seen him on Fox News. I know I've seen him on Laura Ingraham's program. He's also a Newsmax TV contributor. But in 2018, he was a deputy assistant to both President Donald Trump and the chief of staff of the National Security Council. He's written extensively on national security issues, and we're honored and happy to have him here with us this evening on the Matt Rooney Show. Fred, welcome to 1210 WPHT, and a happy, merry, early Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, and I'll add to that, I am also a St. Joe's graduate.
There you go. He just burnished his own credentials there, Dan. Check that out. Dan's impressed. He's only not talking right now because he's texting instead of working, Fred.
There's people in the other studio that I got to give information to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did we do something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure we didn't break something.
No, we're good.
So, Fred, I think I said it all in the wind-up, and we are happy to have you with us this evening because, we've heard 15 different stories, 15 different versions from different levels of our government, also from the media, as to what these drones might be. Some have suggested, including New Jersey Congressman Jeff Andrew, that, hey, maybe they have a foreign origin. Maybe they're related to Iran. We've heard another member of Congress say China, the Biden administration, is doing what they do best. They're gaslighting us and pretending that it's all in our heads, which we know in New Jersey, we definitely are a colorful people, but our imagination's not that colorful. What do you suspect is going on here?
It's a pleasure to be here. I don't believe these drones are of a foreign origin. I don't think Iran or China are behind them for several reasons. This would be out of character for them to do, and I don't think either nation would be able to do this and escape detection. And it would be an awfully provocative thing to do with Donald Trump coming into office. I don't think either nation would do that. I believe most of these drones are hobbyists or pranksters. You would be amazed at the sophisticated drone you can buy on the internet. If you decide to spend $1,000, $2,000, you can buy a drone that's maybe a foot in diameter that can fly quite far in the air and quite distant. You could put lights on it, and you push a button, and you control it from your cell phone. You push a button, it'll fly right back to you. I've seen a couple of them. They're remarkable. Now, having said that, I think the larger drones are government, and they are part of some type of government exercise, maybe the Pentagon, maybe U.S. intelligence agencies. And whatever these drones are, it is absolutely clear that the Biden administration knows quite a bit about what they are and isn't saying. And you can tell from these congressional briefings that members of Congress are being given briefings that have been classified. So there's something about them the government doesn't want to reveal. And I think that's because they're military exercises. I don't think they are foreign, but look, there's some classified aspect. It isn't being told to the American public, and the American people deserve to know.
Well, you just hit on my next question, Fred, which is that, obviously we don't want to compromise U.S. security. And if in some way, form, or fashion these drones are related to a sophisticated defense system, fine. We understand that we can't always know everything. That's the nature of national security. If we have all the plans, we the people, then our foreign adversaries may have all that information. But, you seem to suggest that they're not handling this the correct way. Assuming this is a government program, some kind of legitimate exercise of the military or our national security apparatus, how should the Biden administration handle this differently in terms of what and how they tell the American people?
Well, it's first of all, there's bipartisan pressure on the Biden administration to come forward with what's going on, and I think that they should simply say what it is. But look, this is one of the most incompetent administrations in history, and I don't expect them to give an adequate answer because, frankly, I don't think anybody's at home in the White House. I have a feeling we will not find out what these drones really are until Donald Trump becomes president and we have new leadership of our intelligence agencies, the Department of Homeland Security, the Pentagon, the FBI. Then I think we'll know what's going on. But until that time, I think we're going to keep getting all kinds of vague answers and non-answers, and the American people are just going to get more worried.
Yeah, and we know that one of the things that separates the right and the left, especially in 2024, is a disdain they have for the American people. I think whether he's operating a fryer at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania or he's just interacting with some Americans at a campaign stop, you get the sense of how much Donald Trump genuinely likes people and respects people. You may not always agree with his policies. I happen to, but you can tell that he genuinely wants to help the American people and that he thinks that if they're empowered, they can do great things. That's not the vibe you ever get from the left, and I think it oozes out of them in these reactions we've gotten to the drone situation. John Kirby, condescension. We've gotten the same thing from Mayorkas, condescension. Joe Biden, again, suggesting that this is just all in everyone's imagination. I mean, it's just a fundamental lack of disrespect. So you've already said you didn't bury the lead. You think that Donald Trump would handle this situation very differently?
I think so. But look, I can't underestimate my belief that I think a lot of these drones are probably legal and they're being flown by hobbyists and pranksters, which is a problem in and of itself. I think that once this happened, people who own these drones decided to join the fun, started sending them in the air to scare people. Well, that's wrong. And there has to be some regulations on flying these drones over populated areas. And if it was a government exercise, and I think some of it probably was, why isn't this being done out west instead of over populated areas?
Right. It's a very fair point. I know Chris Smith of New Jersey, one of our 3 Republican congressmen, he has a new bill out he just introduced that the law against nefarious drones enforcement and deconfliction landed. Everything's an acronym, right? Which would allegedly fill this gap that exists between federal and state authority, will allow local officials to be able to interdict these drones and do something more about it. So perhaps that's something. We know that it's probably not going to get a vote before the end of the current administration's time in office. Maybe this is something we'll be addressing come January or beyond. Of course, drones are only a drop in the bucket of the many crises that President Trump now needs to confront. The world is on fire, Fred. I know you know that as well as anyone. You probably have watched it with quite a bit of anguish in recent years because you used to be in the room when these sorts of matters were being discussed. Where do you think Donald Trump starts in beginning to put America's reputation back together on the national stage and addressing some of these national security concerns which have been allowed to metastasize during the Biden years?
Well, there's a lot to do, but the first thing he's going to do is to seal the border. He is going to stop illegal migration, and he's going to take fairly aggressive steps against Mexico and against Canada if they don't seal the border, if they don't stop these illegal migrants. and the large number of criminals and intelligence officers who are crossing the border. That's the absolute priority. But it's just amazing that Trump is president-elect, and he's already taking steps to try to end the wars in the Middle East and to end the war in Ukraine. My colleague, General Keith Kellogg, is the special envoy for Russia and Ukraine. He will probably go to Ukraine just after the first of the year. He's already speaking to a number of diplomats and experts on how to do this. He's a brilliant man who's been working on this for a long time, and he's just ready to move on this. And he's working with Biden officials. He's talking with them. So I think that's positive. And in the Middle East, we've already seen significant movement by Hamas on a ceasefire deal. I don't know whether we're going to get there, but they've already made significant concessions that they refused to make before, such as if there is a ceasefire, they will not object to Israeli troops remaining in Gaza. They would never have made that offer if Trump had not said that there will be hell to pay if they do not release their hostages. They also gave a list of the hostages, which they had never done before. This is all because of Trump coming onto the scene. And I think this just shows that American leadership and a strong president who exercises peace through strength can stabilize global security. And we can see what happens when we have a weak and indecisive president who suffers from mental decline, what that does to American and global security.
It's amazing how much has actually been able to be accomplished. And you referenced this a moment ago, before the man has even taken office. It seems like, and I think you got this vibe when you were watching him at the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, many world leaders are already looking to him as a leader of the free world, even though he doesn't take office until January 20th. I think they're thirsting for it as much as we are back here at home. We've been talking to Fred Fleitz, everyone, an expert, as you know now, if you did not know it before, on all things national security. He's currently vice chair over at the America First Policy Institute for the Center of American Security. And no doubt he is going to remain a major force and a major voice in that arena as the new administration takes office in just a few short weeks here. Fred, we really appreciate your time on this final weekend before Christmas. Appreciate all the insight. Hopefully we can chat with you again soon.
Happy to do so. Merry Christmas.
You too, Fred. This is Fred Fleitz, everyone. And you're listening to Matt Rooney on The Matt Rooney Show, 855-839-1210. Quick timeout for a little more Christmas music and to play some ads to make some money. We are capitalists around here. And we'll be back on The Matt Rooney Show in a moment.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Happy holidays to all. It's the perfect time to talk about Rescue Natural Supplements and their Deck the Hall sale, because right now you can save up to 78% on exceptional natural supplements for every area of your health. From essentials like omega-3s, probiotics, cholesterol support, natural pain relief, and more. And the best part? Over a dozen health-boosting rescue products are marked down under $20. Get started. Stock up today. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com. res-q.com. With Rescue, you can reinforce your immune system, boost energy, and reach your health goals. Again, there's no code needed to save up to 78% site-wide. So get a head start on your health. Visit res-q.com. That's res-q.com. Do it today.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
It's no secret, the clock is ticking. Grab your last-minute gifts at Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. Toys by Barbie, Disney, Mattel, Hot Wheels, Nerf, Sonic, Fisher-Price, and more, starting at just $3.99. Small electronics you can easily wrap for $4.99. Box gift sets you can throw a bow on, start at just $5.99. Box cozy PJs start at $9.99. Don't wait, time is running out. Get to Foreman Mills now.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/rain to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/rain. That's leaffilter.com/rain.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Only 3 more sleeps, boys and girls. Have you been naughty or nice? Dan's on my naughty list, the permanent one. There ain't no getting off it. He's also bopping his head in there to this song. You went and saw them live this year.
I did. I've been so naughty and been such a naughty boy. I did. I saw TSO back in November.
Yeah.
It was the weekend before Thanksgiving, I believe.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go try to see him next year when they come through.
Well, they came
I've
to
been
Philly.
before, they're amazing.
They were in Philly tonight.
Oh, were they there tonight?
Yeah, they're at the Wells Fargo.
What are we doing here?
One show at 3 and then one show at 7.
Oh, we should have gone to the 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
We should have taken in a show.
I mean, tickets were still available, and I asked my parents, I was like, hey, you want to go to the Wells Fargo show at 3 o'clock? They're like, nah. And I think...
once is enough for the year.
And I think Promotions is even... They had extra tickets, so they're like, anyone want extra tickets? And I was like, I was debating on doing it, but I'm like...
you should have told me.
I was like, nah, I can't. So
I would have gone with you.
We probably would have been back for the show.
Yeah. We going to 3.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have a 3 and a 7, that implies that...
Yeah, we did a...
it's probably done at, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we did a 7 o'clock show in Hershey. Fantastic show.
No, it's great.
If you don't...
Definitely see it if you never have.
If you have never seen it, you have to go see it.
Yeah. We're not paid by them. We're just... That's an honest opinion.
Fantastic.
Yup. Love it. YouTube.com/@1210 WPHT. Head on over there. Give us a like if you haven't already. Marguerite's saying something about my camera.
No, I figured it out. I know what it is.
No.
It's the autofocus of the camera that's making it wonky.
She says much better now, except for his sweater.
That's correct. It's actually not. I think mine's more. I think mine's uglier, but.
Well, that's the whole point of the ugly sweater, though, Marguerite.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to look. It's not supposed to look good. Manglemush responding to our last guest, Fred Fleitz, former deputy assistant to the National Security Council and President Trump, says, dude, they are not hobby drones nor pranksters spending millions of dollars for a goof. My mind is where yours has been, Manglemush. I think many of the reports that are coming in are either mistaken identity. Some of them are hobbyists, because as Fred correctly says, if you're willing to spend some money on these things, and people are, you can get something that's pretty sophisticated. But I do think there are a percentage of these things out there, and Fred did say this, that are government drones. Now, I guess the question is whether or not they're our government or not. I hope we get an answer from President Trump.
Let me just say
weeks.
this. Have you ever seen like the big video drones? Like the ones that have the cameras on it and stuff like that? Yeah, they're well over $1,000. Some are even $2,000.
And they're large.
Right.
Yeah.
Even like the little tiny ones,
yeah,
they're well over $1,000.
Yeah,
If not
they're
like a
expensive.
little under. I would say around 800. So like,
yeah,
no one's buying these just to pull off a prank. Like that from the video that I saw, that is a large drone.
Yeah.
That's not something that someone just put there and flew the day of.
I think what we can definitively say is there is a percentage of these things that are not hobbyists. It's just a question of where they've originated from. Is the government being honest and they don't know, which is arguably an even worse answer? Because if it is China or Iran or aliens, we're in trouble because we've allowed our airspace to be easily invaded and we're not doing anything about it. And if it's the government, and I think Fred kind of said this, and I've opined as much over on X, which, by the way, you can check out my handle, Matt Rooney NJ, and follow me there if you don't already. I mean, why would you run a program like this if you're the U.S. government at Christmas and scare the bejesus out of people when they're trying to celebrate a holiday? I mean, we know that the federal government is full of awful people and does terrible things, but it kind of takes the cake, doesn't it? Well, whatever. Moving on. We could talk about drones all day. This Christmas market attack in Germany, horrendous stuff. Have you seen the video, Dan?
I didn't see the actual video. I saw them arresting the guy, but I haven't seen the actual video.
This it's horrific, and I don't recommend looking it up unless you need to look it up. And the reason you would need to look it up is because you need to be reminded that evil is real. There's a crowded city street like you'd expect to see at any Christmas festival. And all of a sudden, a car comes flying through. I don't know how fast. Let's say 100 miles per hour, faster, and just mows down dozens of people. It's nothing is worse than these videos where you see human beings, our fellow man, being treated like rag dolls. It's hideous stuff. The media, though, is going to do what the media does. And I'm looking here at a little list that I found of various headlines about the Christmas market attack. Now, without getting into it, which we can here in a second, but you don't need to for this particular exercise. But the gentleman that is accused of perpetrating this attack is not an Irish Catholic.
No, he's a Saudi doctor.
Right. He's not.
Psychologist, I think?
It sounds right.
Psychiatrist? I think he's a psychologist.
Right. Right. And he's alleging he's an atheist, but there's some evidence to the contrary, apparently, I was reading. Again, we can get into that, but let's look at some of the recent headlines and let me see whether or not you can guess what's funky about them. And Dan, you can feel free to participate as well.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's Christmas and this is a party
Thank you.
game.
Yeah,
because we're having an ugly sweater party.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me.
So this is The Guardian. 1 killed and several injured after car drives into Christmas market in Germany. NBC News. Dozens feared injured after vehicle plows into crowd at Christmas market. BBC. Car driven into crowd at Christmas German market, reports say. CNN. At least 1 dead after car plows into German Christmas market. AP. A car has driven into a group of people at a Christmas market in Germany.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say something.
Good. You gonna give me my answer?
Cars do not just drive into people. They don't, unless it's a Waymo.
Unless it's a Waymo,
because
like
there's no person
Yes.
driving that car. A car can't just drive into people. My car's not going to go and fly off the parking garage because there's no one in it.
A car does not have free will.
Correct. Just like a fork doesn't make people fat. Okay? The fork can't physically...
That's pretty good, Daniel.
The fork can't pick up the food
That's
and
right.
feed it to you
That's
forcefully.
Right. That's right.
So a car cannot do it.
A car cannot do
And
it.
if your car does do that, you might want to take it into the shop and be like, hey,
Right.
my car is killing people. Or you should make a movie out of it because that is a fantastic horror movie.
Right.
The Killer Car.
So you look at some of these headlines and you say to yourself, well, some of it might just be kind of convenient or lazy writing, right? Because a car driving into a crowd conveys the horror of the situation, as Dan says. But it can't be that much of a coincidence, right? When every single one of these news outlets is writing essentially the same headline. These are typical leftist legacy outlets that don't want to print the fact that this alleged perpetrator fits the profile of someone who has been allowed into Europe, and Europe is being invaded, right? Make no bones about it here. It's not even debatable. And that it once again demonstrates that European immigration policies have been a disaster for that continent and a disaster for the West. But let's just run through some of this, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit of a timeline. So let's go back to 2006. We're going back almost 20 years here for those of you that learn math from the Teachers Union. Talib Abdul Mohsen, I don't know how to pronounce it, leaves Saudi Arabia after being accused of rape and implicated in serious crimes. That's the allegation. Then the Saudi Arabian government reportedly seeks his extradition home to stand trial and answer for these alleged crimes, and it is ignored. Germany, the place where he's now reportedly committed these attacks, denied the request of Saudi Arabia, citing human rights concerns. So he gets asylum in Germany. He reinvents himself as a dissident, declares himself an atheist and an ex-Muslim. Now, whether or not you think this move was genuine or strategic, I mean, does it really matter? Right? I mean, whether we're talking about atheism or some radical sect of Islam, a common thread in there is a complete disregard for human life. So he begins working in a government hospital in Germany as a psychiatrist, Dan. I think you were saying whether he's a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
They're the same thing.
And then he's allegedly participating in other criminal activities during this period. And then more recently in 2023, and as current as this year, he made explicit threats against Germany. And authorities apparently just dismissed this as a form of free expression, despite the fact that he's being active on social media, tweeting and posting things that could be interpreted as calls for violence or violent statements. There's a lot more to be discussed here, but there's every indication, as we often find in the aftermath of these terror attacks, that the host country could have done a heck of a lot more to prevent what happened. And here in Germany, again, it appears the reason why this guy was allowed to perpetrate this attack is that wokeness, as it's known on our side of the Atlantic, has rotted Europe out from its core to the point where they have no ability or even will to defend themselves. And a lot of innocent people, including a child as young as 9, are dead as a result. Europe's got to make a decision, just like the United States just recently made a decision that enough is enough. 855-839-1210. One more break this hour, and we'll be back with more on the Matt Rooney Show in a moment.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Luigi's not getting any Swedish fish in the joint. Luigi has for breakfast a choice of fruits, grits, bread, eggs, and coffee.
We have to remember, as these dummies on News Nation are like, hi everybody, there's a person dead. It's again this idol worship. Do you guys see him? Is he watching? Like they're giddy schoolgirls. Ugh.
Goes back to the big take this morning, the violence of the left, the irrelevance of the media.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Free speech lives here with Kaylee Company weekday mornings on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Not gonna lie to you, Daniel, was not expecting something from Polar Express to make it into the rotation.
Polar Express is a great soundtrack. Did you know that Tom Hanks plays like 6 roles in this movie?
I did know that.
Yeah.
A very creepy movie.
Yes, it is. Steven Tyler has a song on here. I like this song. I think the song's catchy. So yeah.
Yeah. Best example I've ever seen of the uncanny valley.
Yes. The little girl's face is a little uncanny, as they say.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know and you're not familiar with the concept, the uncanny valley is the aesthetic phenomenon that occurs when there's a negative emotional response to objects that are human-like but not human. So if you see a lifelike doll or mannequin, it's creepy for some reason because we know that it's not quite human, but it looks human. Something about that makes it more terrifying. And these, when did the Polar Express come out? Probably about 20 years ago. These 2000-ish attempts at CGI, they weren't quite there yet.
Yeah, season 4.
Yeah, there you go. They weren't quite there yet with the technology, so they were putting out things that are really funky looking. Creepy stuff. And it's a shame because the Polar Express is a beautiful book. Staple of childhood.
Did you also know that Macaulay Culkin was in the New York Broadway Nutcracker?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a little kid. Yeah, he was.
Did you know that Ralphie from A Christmas Story plays the head elf in
Yes, I did know that.
Elf, the Will Ferrell movie?
Yep. I didn't know that.
A lot of Christmas synergy there.
They're all connected. It's a one universe. It's the Christmas universe.
One Christmas universe, which Dan hates and can't wait till it goes away.
I actually haven't seen any Christmas movies this year. Is that bad? I haven't seen any.
I don't know.
I'll probably watch a Muppets Christmas sooner or later.
So, my wife, wonderful woman, obviously. She'd have to be wonderful for us to be married, right? Goes without saying, I know. She's not a big Muppet fan. And so the problem with living in a house that's divided along Muppet lines is the kids really haven't gotten into the Muppets because she's not into it. And it's very frustrating for me. I grew up on the Muppet Christmas Carol. I love that movie.
What I heard is that the Muppets Christmas Carol is not really a Muppets movie, but has the Muppets featured in it.
Okay, so I think I understand where they're going with this, and I probably agree because Michael Caine. That's actually a good Michael Caine.
You like that?
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Bruce.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he plays the butler, Alfred.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Batman movies, the reboot, the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, his performance of Ebenezer Scrooge in the Muppet Christmas Carol stands up. It could be in a normal production if you take the Muppets out of it. You remember it as a kid's movie because it is a Muppet movie. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, but it's not like the Muppets really aren't in it a lot. Like it doesn't really.
No, I don't think that's true. I mean, there's a lot of Muppetry.
But compared to like the Muppet movie with what is it, Jason Segel?
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Well, it's a different thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little more serious. It's got some more, deeper themes in it, I guess you might say. Not the best Christmas Carol, though. The best one is Alistair Sim's Christmas Carol, which has been independently verified by polling, by the way.
Do you have proof?
Yeah, I'll find the poll for you.
Find the poll.
How dare you?
Get the poll.
How dare you question me?
Get the poll.
Can we agree that Taylor Lorenz is one of the worst people on the planet?
Yes.
This is something else we haven't had a chance to talk about because we took a hiatus over the past few weeks. This is someone who already was on the brink of irrelevancy. Arguably, she was already there. And these comments she's made about the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, who was gunned down in New York. It was in New York City, I believe, right? Or Chicago?
Yes, New York.
It was New York, yeah. He was gunned down in New York City. He was there for a conference. And I haven't had a chance to weigh in on this. Look, the healthcare industry is horrendous, right? The irony, of course, if you have any angst towards the healthcare industry, and many people have perfectly valid grievances, it's been made worse by Obamacare. So you've got these lefties like Taylor Lorenz, who I don't know if she was old enough to vote for Barack Obama, but obviously most of these people supported Barack Obama, who brought about an even worse healthcare system than we had before. And now they are openly glorifying people saying they want to kill healthcare CEOs who are operating companies that are living under the regulations they've imposed upon them. Do you see the irony there? You have to be able to. It's plain. It's plain for you to see.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but everyone is now calling, not everyone, but there's some people who are calling Luigi like an American hero because he did what other people always wanted to do, but they never actually did. Because he killed someone that killed like millions of people due to his but like denying them claims. So he's an American hero for killing one person for not denying, but their claims being denied.
It's so gross.
It is. And people are like writing him love letters and dude, all over TikTok, they're like, this guy is so fine and free my boy and he did nothing wrong and he's, he did a good thing for America, all this. And I'm like, how are you sitting here and defending the guy?
Yeah. One wonders. And Taylor Lorenz is out there defending this guy, or at least refusing to condemn him might be a more accurate way to put it. Making a comment, and people wonder why we want these executives dead.
Like,
who says that?
Like, I understand that sometimes claims get denied. I get that. That's not just his healthcare network. That's all healthcare networks. But, like, you don't have to go and shoot and kill a man, basically murder him in broad daylight just because it was denied. Your mother, whatever, something happened. I think his mother's claim was denied or something like that. You don't have to go and kill the man just because that happened.
Well, look, I mean, let's break it down, right? First of all, nothing is going to change because you've murdered another individual.
Correct.
Right? It's not as if, this guy is sitting in an office deciding negatively on claims, and then now that he's gone, someone's going to take his place that's all of a sudden going to grant all of the claims that are being filed, right?
If claims are denied, they're denied for a reason.
Right.
It's not like they're like, we don't want this person to live, so let's just deny it.
I mean, it might not be a good
Right.
reason. It might not be a good reason.
Correct,
right?
but they're denied for a specific reason.
Right. And the problem with the system is how the system's constructed. It's not one man. I mean, take New Jersey, for example. If you live in my state, Garden State, if you are someone Dan's age, in his 20s, healthy, except for the fact that if you see him, you would probably be concerned that he needs a sandwich, right? He's got to put some weight on. Nobody likes a skinny Santa, Daniel. He would be mandated to get all sorts of things in his health insurance policy that he doesn't need. Dan would have to pay for mammograms, even though I don't think that you're getting any mammograms anytime soon. As a 20-something American male.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And that's just the start of it. New Jersey does not allow you to have a true catastrophic health insurance policy. And it's one of the many reasons why, and Obamacare has made this worse, why your insurance is so expensive. Democrats think mandating coverage is the way to go. Mandating coverage drives insurance costs into the stratosphere. Now, if you want to talk about mandating treatment, that's a little bit of a different discussion. But again, that's the part about this that I find so frustrating. And I'll give the dead horse one more swift kick here at the risk of getting some glue in my shoe. The health insurance industry stinks largely because of the left, the same people that are now cheering on the murder of this executive. So, maybe instead of engaging in this positively macabre and grisly exercise of glorifying a murderer, somebody who killed a father and a husband, maybe the left should take a long, pondering look into a mirror and question their own role in creating a system that fails so many. I know, introspection, what a crazy concept. But it's one of the themes of tonight's show. The left so desperately needs to engage in that introspection. And of course, we're not even getting into, obviously, the role that the plaintiff's bar plays in driving health costs through the roof. There's many, many, many dimensions to this problem, but I have no patience for this. And it's one of the things that's cropped up over the past couple of weeks. I said, I wish the show was coming up quicker because I really want to weigh in on it. The left's culture of death is only getting worse. It's only getting worse. We've heard extremely grisly commentary from them during the course of the election, obviously. I mean, remember when they tried to kill President Trump? Some of the remarks that were made on social media and elsewhere in the aftermath of the attempt on his life. It was horrendous. I can't, as someone who feels very strongly about politics, obviously, you know that if you listen to the program or read SaveJersey.com, I can't get myself there. Even people who I think are miserable people that are making this country weaker, poorer, they're self-interested, they have the wrong priorities. Some of them are straight up corrupt, especially in my home state of New Jersey. I still can't get to the point where I want another human being to be harmed. And this isn't virtue signaling. I think this should be a normal impulse. That doesn't make me so great. That should make me normal. It's what's supposed to separate us from the animals, folks. So shame on Taylor Lorenz, and shame on everyone that feels the same way that she does. You either have something rotten in your soul, if you find common cause with her and Luigi, or you're just not thinking enough about the issue.
Like, nothing's going to change.
No, not at all.
You kill the CEO, they're going to appoint another CEO, and they're going to continue to do the same exact thing.
Yes, it's the system.
They're not going to kill a CEO and be like, guys, we got to change something. Like, I'm sure that's what they're trying to do, but people don't want to see that.
No, hatred causes division, right? And that's all this is going to do. It's just going to cause more division. And at the risk of being a little sappy, but it is the holidays, if we're divided and we're not united, it makes it harder to move together towards a solution. So, on that cheery note, Daniel, I think it's your time to take the show over.
Also, I just want to point out real quick. Apparently, Bella just told me that Luigi had no connections to United. They're speculated, but none proven. So if that's the case, then he really had no reason to kill anyone.
Well, I read something about how this guy allegedly had a botched surgery. But yes, I also read that as well, that allegedly there was no connection to United Healthcare. Look, he was probably a nut. But who's nuttier? The guy that committed the crime or all the supposedly normal, well-adjusted people online cheering him on for murdering somebody?
Yeah.
That's all we've got for me on this topic, Dan. Why don't you liven things up in a way that only you can?
Hey guys, gather round.
It's Twit Talk time.
It's time for the weirdest, strangest, occasionally distressing, but always interesting segment anywhere on any radio station in the country.
So, speaking of our boy Luigi Mangione, not to be confused with his brother Mario. He apparently, some guy on TikTok said that he did it in the most American way.
What is that? What does that even mean?
Well, let's play the clip and you'll find out.
Can we just take a minute to realize that this United Healthcare CEO and Luigi Mangione thing is the most American chain of events to ever happen so far? You have an ultra-rich CEO of a private healthcare company getting offed by a man named Luigi in the streets of New York, all with a homemade pew-pew because it's his right in that country to own that thing, and then escaping the most militarized police force in the world and getting on a bus and traveling to Pennsylvania to only stop at a McDonald's and get recognized by a boomer. If this doesn't turn into like a straight to Netflix movie, there's a missed opportunity here. Also, real quick, it couldn't have been Luigi who did the adjusting in New York, because Luigi was with me volunteering at a food bank. So
there you go.
I don't get the last comment.
So people on TikTok and people all over on the internet are saying that it's not him because people are hyping him up for doing a good thing, quote unquote. That Luigi was with them, so it can't be him.
Oh, so they're offering an alibi for him.
Correct. Like,
it's kind of like a joke.
He was like, oh, he was with me this day. It can't be him. Or, oh, he was here. So it really can't be this
It's
guy.
an I am Spartacus kind of moment.
Correct. So they're basically saying like it
it
wasn't him because he was somewhere else. Yeah. Yes. So the most American way, he does it.
God, social media sometimes just concentrates stupidity.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Young Turks? With
Yes.
Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian.
I check out the Young Turks in one instance only.
Well, you're gonna check
after Republicans win elections because their emoting is just gorgeous.
We're gonna check out another of them today because Cenk Uygur was saying how if Kamala Harris ran for governor of California, they would all just obey her and vote for her. And Anna Kasparian is not having it, and she threw a fit.
I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No!
Okay.
No! What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm telling you the reality, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing?
Democratic voters in California love to obey. And so...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm going to move, Cenk. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to move.
I'm not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm telling you what's... Like, if the Democratic Party said, we anoint Kamala Harris, a giant percentage of Democrats in California would go, yes, we obey.
No! What are you doing?
So Anna Kasparian is now worried.
So is because I have not paid attention to her commentary this cycle, in part because of what you just heard. It's kind of hard to do it without needing aspirin. But what did she say? Is she upset because she thinks that Kamala Harris was a bad candidate and it's a mistake to revive her politically?
Probably. I didn't really look too much into it. I saw the clip when I said, that's funny.
No!
Yeah.
That should be added to the hotkeys.
No!
No!
Yeah, so...
remember Mr. Bill?
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Bill! No!
Yeah, so I guess she was saying, like, don't call people who just obey that. Like, I don't know. I stopped watching that show a while ago.
Well, Democrats like to be victims, right? So one thing we're seeing a lot of right now is they're pretending that Kamala Harris was foisted upon them.
Yeah.
That, the Democrat establishment did this to us, which, I mean, there's some truth to that. Pelosi and Obama kind of set the table here for this disaster that they've now had to grapple with. But, I mean, again, back to John Fetterman for a moment from earlier in the program. Who spoke up? Who complained? Who did anything to stop it? None of them. So they're all getting their just desserts, in my opinion.
Are you familiar with Trump's economic plan?
Sure.
Okay, well, this TikToker says you're wrong about it because there's a little something here that you don't know about it.
Uh-oh.
For those of you who thought Donald Trump was going to be better on the economy than Kamala Harris, I got bad news for you. He hasn't even been president-elect for an entire week yet. And already we're hearing horror stories about people dealing with new crippling debt. For instance, here's a story about a woman named Kamala Harris. Once Donald Trump took office, immediately found herself in $20 million of debt. Way to go, Donald Trump. If only Kamala Harris had won. That woman is good with money. You can tell.
There's been some good cartoons floating around to that effect. Trump made a joke about bailing her out. Remember that?
Yeah. Where do we go from here? What is the...
Imagine how much wine she's going to drink this holiday season.
What's the hardest substance that you've ever taken?
The hardest substance?
Yeah, the hardest substance that you've ever taken.
We're gonna do this on the air?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Legally?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably if we're talking about liquids, I mean, I've drinking some very strong scotches.
No, I just mean in general. Drugs, alcohol. What the strongest substance that you've taken?
I mean, that's really about it. I'm pretty boring.
Okay, well, I think I know the answer for you.
You think you know? You think you know the truth?
I
here?
think I got it. I think this one guy saes it perfectly.
What is the hardest substance you've ever taken, and how was that experience?
Tylenol PM. I got sleepy.
Yeah?
But it was all right. I'm okay. I'm here.
Cool. No doubt.
Tylenol PM, hardest substance he's ever taken.
Dude.
He's still there.
NyQuil?
That put you to sleep.
That'll mess you up.
Yeah, that put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. You see Wicket yet or no?
No, I'm not going to see Wicket.
Okay, well, there's a new version out already, version 2. Exclusive audio, exclusive video.
We sometimes get exclusives here in the program.
Right.
Dan works hard off air.
Right.
We don't. And I appreciate you with the Christmas
Right.
season.
So
I should say it.
Don't ask how I got it because it's confidential.
I'm not. I'm just happy we do.
Yep.
Folks, we're going to defy gravity like you've never seen. The Wizard is having dance parties with Beyonce. Sleepy Wiz, that's what I call him. And those sad, fat little munchkins will do whatever he says because they can't stop listening to the fake news media. But Emerald City's a mess, folks. It's such a mess. Have you seen it recently? It's so sad. We're going to turn it around. We're going to make Oz great again. Can you believe that? That's what we're going to do. With regard to Monkey and, frankly, magic, we're doing things in a way that has never been done before, really. And that sad little freak, Glinda. Glinda, that's what they're calling her. She thinks she can make me more popular when everybody knows I'm way more popular than her. Believe me. Her in that big, weird, obnoxious pink dress. Doesn't even compliment her skin tone, really. Nobody's gonna say it to her face, but it's true. Everybody in Emerald City's asking how I defy gravity so strongly like you've never seen before, and really, the only answer I can tell you is when you love your country and you love it so strongly, everyone who loves their country deserves to fly. It's true.
That had me at sad, fat little munchkins.
There you go. Exclusive audio.
That was good.
How often do you ever get in trouble with the cops or just talk to the police in general?
I talk to the police a lot.
Okay.
Occupationally.
And how often do you ask for their name and badge number?
See, I'm probably going to ruin the joke here because I'm a municipal prosecutor, so I'm constantly asking for badge number.
Well, maybe you should add a little something at the end of the name and badge number.
A little something at the end? Is this a good tip from you?
Hey, what's your name and badge number? What is it?
Badge Robert 1476. My name is Officer Larson.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Ooh. So unfortunate.
Yikes.
Good boy.
Yeah, tell him he's a good boy.
Yeah, have fun with the 30 tickets that he probably got right out of that.
Apparently that guy's channel is just all going up to cops and asking their name and badge number and then calling him a good boy afterward. Some cops think it's funny and some cops are like, what?
The stuff that people can go viral doing, there's one guy who, for whatever reason, it constantly pops up on my feed on Instagram. I got to find him. His channel is nothing but him walking by really muscly dudes and pretending that he pushed into them very aggressively. Kind of like stiff shoulders them.
Yeah.
And says that, oh, it's not my fault. I just have very wide shoulders. But he's obviously, I mean, he's not quite Dan-sized.
Yeah.
But, and that channel has millions of views. Who watches this stuff? Don't you people have jobs?
And to end our Christmas extravaganza, Theo Von clip.
It's the only way that I'd want to head into Christmas.
So here we go.
They just did a story on what a big deal this guy is now, and you had it first.
There it is. I don't know how to explain it. Just
Hey, Theo, what's up? This is Blake from Atlanta, and I've been thinking about pies. I've been thinking about pumpkin pie And I've been thinking about, pecan pie, because I've heard of both of those pies.
Oh, yeah, man. And I know I love pie. And I don't know if you knew that or not before you called. But, man, I love pie. Because a pie just looks up at a cake and is like, hey, look at all the fucking beautiful shit I did in just an inch and a half, motherfucker. You up there. It's like watching a Mexican dude do well in basketball. That's a pie. And he looking up all these cakes, all these German chocolate hitters, 6-story, 9-story. They got Euro players, these, tiramisu hitting them from the threes and that, and doing them baby gator shots and all of that off the back top. And then they got your boy, little Hector, Hector Piso Uno, bro. And he's that pie, baby. And he gets it all done at the bottom of the bowl. And I respect that 100%. I love pie.
I can't disagree with any of that. I feel the same way about pie. That's why my ugly sweater doesn't fit anymore. Folks, it's been real. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to producer Dan. Thank you to everybody that watched online. Be safe. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you on the other side in 2025. God bless.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It's no secret, the clock is ticking. Grab your last-minute gift set. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. Toys by Barbie, Disney, Mattel, Hot Wheels, Nerf, Sonic, Fisher-Price, and more. Starting at just $3.99. Small electronics you can easily wrap for $4.99. Box gift sets you can throw a bow on. Start at just $5.99.